I'm going to tell most of you right now. Not most of you. I'm going to tell some of you right now. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to leave. I want you to leave. Some of you. I want you to leave. Okay? Because some of you won't be able to take what I'm going to say today. And I don't want to sit around here and bullshit with people who have their head in the sand and are eagle glazed donuts. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes here. I'll give you about 30 seconds to get the hell out of here and go to one of those WIP or 97.5 shows. So you can walk around on your knees there. Go ahead. Give me a couple minutes. Because this won't be something you want to hear, some of you. And so I'm going to make it very clear here. I don't want anybody's panties in a bind. And I don't want to hear any fucking moaning on what we're going to say. We are going to speak the fucking truth here. And if you don't like it, you got to go. And I'm not debating some dickhead in Passaic, New Jersey. I'm not. Okay? All right. That's enough. Like button. Supers go to the top. Okay? We appreciate all of you. Like Kyle here. Sills, what a player, Jalen Phillips. Told you guys would enjoy him. Offense, what a shit show. Absolutely. Okay, I told you guys would enjoy this guy. I want you to temper it. We're going to get to Jalen Phillips, I promise. I told you would enjoy him very much. Okay? And that guy was going to bring a lot of energy. But remember what I said when you sign that guy. Remember what I said. When healthy. I've got to keep that emphasis. And I want you to underline. Okay? I want you to underline when healthy. That is what that player looks like. So we will talk about him. So let me start the show off. I want to start the show off by just giving Vic Fangio all his roses here. What a fabulous performance by his defense, his football players. 10-7 victory, holding the Packers to 7 points at home at Lambeau Field was spectacular. I mean, everybody on that defensive side of the football played exceptional. Exceptional. Front seven was great. Secondary played well. Quinyon Mitchell was the best player on the football field. And Jalen Phillips brought that linchpin that they needed at that edge position. And it was just a fabulous performance. And they're getting better and better. By the way, the numbers that your defense has right now aren't really indicative of how you've played, I think, the last month of the season. I think they're playing better and better and better and better, and they are getting better. The cheapest defense, the Temu defense, is kicking the shit out of that overpriced, overpaid, and underachieving offensive football team. Enough's enough with your football team and your bullshit excuses about your fucked up offense. Enough. Enough of it. All the coordinator blamings, all the shitty fucking non-production. Enough. Two things can be true. Your offense wins games, and your quarterback is limited. I don't have to debate this any longer. How many more fucking games are you going to want to see? That pass he threw to Devontae Smith in the middle of the field, I thought he punted it. He is so fucking limited. It is remarkable. And I will never debate this any longer with anybody. They do win in spite of his limitations. He works hard. All of that reach around stuff you want to hear. He is fucking limited. He is the most limited quarterback of any guy in the NFL with a contending football team. He is so limited, it is not for debate. There's no debating. You can't even get the fucking football to A.J. Brown. I mean, between the coordinator and the quarterback, it's malpractice. Fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. He is so bad. By the way, I've seen shitty players win the Super Bowl MVP. Dexter Jackson. Nick Foles was a good player, not a great one. He won the MVP. Stop with that bullshit. We're going to get to the numbers here in a second. Let me go back to the defense. They just harass Jordan Love. Also, let me say this to you I'll take Jalen Hurts over Jordan Love any day. If the two shitty guys I have to pick, I'll pick the less shittier guy. Jordan Love is terrible. $53 million for that guy? I've seen enough. That guy's not going anywhere. He'll go streaky 2 games and just shit the bed, man. He is just not good enough. I mean, he's just not. The offense. Yeah, your run game's fixed. Sure it is. Your pass game's brutal. I told you on the pregame show, and I said it to you yesterday on Monday. No excuses. What were your excuses on why you had a dog shit performance on offense? What was your excuses? What? Give me one. It was cold? What was your excuses? Give me one excuse why your offense blows. One. Just one. Oh, I know. It's the coach, Brian Johnson, Kevin Patullo. I told you that Kellen Moore did more harm to Jalen Hurts a year ago in your quest to win a Super Bowl than any quarterback that was in Philadelphia during the Nick Sirianni time, because they went away from developing the guy. They haven't developed Jalen Hurts since 2022. They just haven't. He's regressed in every form and fashion. He's gotten smarter because that's who the kid is. All the limitations that he has, he fights through them. He's a gamer. There's no doubt. Hurts is a gamer. He is going to fight. That's a guy that you don't beat. You have to kill. Because he might look shitty for 58 minutes, but he's going to fight for that one play. And I believe that. I think there's a lot of phenomenal qualities in the kid. He fights through his limitations. Completely. Man, is he shitty at throwing the ball. He is just totally shitty at throwing the ball. There's just no... Dude, there are so many quarterbacks in the NFL that you wouldn't think are better than him in the pocket. Kirk Cousins is better than him in the pocket. He's not a very good passing quarterback. Can't argue with facts. Sills' offense is cheeks. Hey, Leon, think of this first. What's the excuse on 2 targets for AJ? Let me guess. Coordinator. The coordinator, by the way, we're going to have Mark Trestman on today. The guy who is a creator, he's a consultant right now for the Los Angeles Chargers. And Mark Trestman's a former head football coach in the NFL, former offensive coordinator with the Ravens, head coach in Canada. He's been an offensive coordinator in New Orleans. He has been an offensive coordinator in Minnesota. He's been an offensive coordinator in Cleveland. And we are going to talk to him about Jalen Hurts and about Kevin Patullo. That's going to be at 5:30. People will hang on to the 5 games that Jalen threw the ball well through 3 years and say he's top 5. Like they say, Sills, when he covers up a lot. Yeah, that's right. They win in spite of him. They win in spite of his deficiencies. Yes. And he is a gamer. There is no doubt. No doubt. two things can be true. That is the most. I remember I asked this question to you. Do you think your offense, during the offseason, I asked this question. Do you think your offense in 2024, when you won the Super Bowl, do you think that your offense lived up to its potential? All of you went, yeah. Yeah. You got a $200 million payroll. $200 million payroll on offense. And you blow. Here, I'm going to go. I was going to wait until later on. Here are the Eagles right now. And who you are right now after that game last night. Okay, here's who you are. Offensively. Let me do defensively first. You're 18th in total. I don't believe that. I think you're trending towards being a top 10 team. Defensively. I think over the last 5, you're getting better. These numbers are all improving every week. Passing, 14th. That's way up. Run, 19th. You were 26th. The reality is, Jalen is limited as a passer, Sills. Right on, dude. Scoring their 10th. Red zone, 4th. Third down, 27th. They moved up a tick. They're getting better. Now, here's your bullshit offense. 23rd in total offense. 25th in passing. 21st in rushing. 27th in third down. You haven't moved a needle at all in any one of those fucking statistics all fucking year long. How's that possible? Oh, the O-line. Look at what Vic Fangio had to work with on defense. You put a blowtorch to his defense. Blowtorch. And he's turning that damn thing around. So our most successful coaches last 25 years have been on the defensive side of the ball. Also, can you get Flores on and ask how to stop Detroit? Those guys don't usually do that, coming on like that. You have to play that week to get a Coach Flores on like that, like playing Minnesota that respected week. Hey, why does your offense blow? Let me see this here. Okay. Why does your offense blow? Why does it blow? You're not winning the Super Bowl. You're one and done. Do you know that A.J. Brown is on pace for Quez Watkins numbers? A $32 million wide receiver is on pace for 700 yards. Explain that. Explain that. 700 yards. Smitty's on pace for 1,200? Congratulations. That's in the middle of the room. Shit. T. Higgins is on pace for 1,200 yards. 1,200 yards in today's NFL? Congratulations, kid. Hey, by the way, congratulations. Were you not a first rounder? You're making it sound like the guy was a 5th rounder. Way to go, I guess. Seals, no disagreement on Hurts' deficiencies, but Hurts is who we get to go to war with. Unless they are willing to move on from him, we'll need to get comfortable with winning with good defense and ugly offense. Hey, get this on the postgame show. Me and Xander went back and forth on this. Okay? Xander's pissed off. I'm not stunned. I'm not surprised. I've been telling you this shit for 4 fucking years. Why would I be surprised? Why would I be surprised? I'm not. Hey, if anything, on Jalen Hurts have been the most consistent. His resume is top 5. No doubt. No questions asked. His abilities, he's top 15 at best. At best. Does he utilize the talent in his huddle? Zero. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. By the way, you know what's exposed them even more? The lack of a running game. Hey, so Saquon Barkley, what did he have in the ball game? What did Barkley have? 60 yards, 2.7 a carry. Don't fucking talk to me just about the offensive line. I mean, Saquon Barkley, man, that 2K, you keep telling me it's 9 games now. It's the O-line. All right. Okay. It's like you guys refuse to listen to the truth. Why? How many more games are you going to have to say, well, Sills is right. This offense is limited. It will catch you when you get into the postseason. It will. I have no vision of this team winning the Super Bowl. Zero. Isn't it funny? The shittiest priced defense in pro football is getting better again for the second year than the offense. Remarkable, Vic Fangio. I mean, remarkable. Kevin, by the way, your idiotic fucking coach is so exposed in clutch moments when something is needed to be made by the head coach to make a decision. You go for it on 4th down with 30 seconds left. You don't get it. Were you trying to let Green Bay win? With the betting scandal going on in the NBA and Major League Baseball, I would have somebody call the NFL and go, was Nick Sirianni throwing the game? What a fucking buffoon move. Bro, I told it on the post game. You could have snapped the ball. Think about this, Yale. You could have snapped the ball at 23 or let the clock run down. Okay? You throw 2 passes prior to stop the clock, which was dumb. That time situation, why did you throw? My God. In a tight game where no offense was being displayed by both sides, why were you throwing to stop the clock? You basically gave LaFleur 2 fucking timeouts. My God. The guy is a fucking idiot. That's an idiotic move. For an experienced coach? Come on, man. Oh, my God. You could have snapped it. 25 seconds. They would have had 5 seconds of one fucking heave to the end zone. If you wanted to do that. Dude, it was terrible. I thought Nick Sirianni was throwing the game. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, what is he doing? What is he doing? And he did it. I was like, my God almighty. There's something wrong with that guy. You had a coach almost cost one completion. One more completion. That guy kicks that field goal and ties it. Bad coaching, bad offense, spectacular defense. Let me get to Jalen Phillips. I told you folks would love the kid. Love his energy, love what he brought, set the edge. Hey, just a note here to Vic. Don't play Jahad Campbell at edge anymore. He got destroyed 3 times when they put him out there. Yeah, no. Work him in inside off ball. Keep him in there. He's not going to be an edge. The room is filled right now anyway. Put him back inside. He got destroyed. So keep him inside there. Let the other guys get the reps. I told you that Jalix Hunt was going to benefit and Nolan Smith were going to benefit from having a guy like Jalen Phillips. They did benefit. They benefited exceptionally well with having him on the front seven, and he played exceptionally well. Hey, I'll say this to you about Nakobe Dean. They're going to have a tough decision to make. Get this. Nakobe Dean's worst enemy will be Nakobe Dean. Will his body fail him? He's gotten better under Vic Fangio. Vic has brought the best out in that player. And I could even make the argument, when he's on the field, that team looks faster. They look faster. My problem is I don't trust him. He's always hurt. Will he last the rest of the year? Get this. Ray Lewis played 17 games, 16 games, my friend. Your guy can't. And get this, that's not a debate. Those are facts. Your guy can't stay healthy. Those are facts. Facts. You kidding me? Sam Mills played, was healthy. Your guy can't stay healthy. This guy was drafted with an injury. Man, I'm on the front page still. I'm not even at the topics yet. Jesus criminy. Dude, what I took away, by the way, I'll say this to you also about Green Bay's got a good defense. They are, man. I got you, Neil. Good, man. I've got you, brother. Got you, dude. Green Bay can play defense. I mean, that Jeff Hadley he's got a good unit. They get after people. And they lost a bunch of people in that football game. Hey, welcome to the NFL is what I say to you with the war of attrition. Okay? That's a good-looking defense. I love that Josh Jacobs kid, man. He runs tough. He is a good back. Tough. I mean, gets you mean yards. Their quarterback sucks a big one. Holy cow, is he terrible. I mean it. He is terrible. I'm going to start going to your takeaways here in a minute. Now Jalen Hurts. Here's the assessment of last night's game. Guy made 3 plays in the ball game, and the rest of it was dog shit. No other way to look at it. And I'm not shocked. See, that's the thing today. You folks are in denial. You're in denial. It's okay. There's a lot of people in Philly in denial. You're not there yet. You think because what you're going to do is play a blame game on someone else and put someone else and say, well, it's Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo is not a very good play caller. He's just not. Okay? But at the end of the day, he can only call plays for the skill of the quarterback. So he's a first-year play caller with a limited guy. What do you expect him to be? North Turner? Brother, if we had a better quarterback than this stiff, teams would be begging for us to tush push. Dude, he's limited, man. He's limited. Probably you are just as football retard as this dude. Hey, here's another guy in denial. He thinks his quarterback is a good guy from the pocket. He's in denial. As this dude? Or that fucking shit passing game of yours. It's a fucking shit passing game. Am I wrong? Hey, let me ask, How many? I'll go yes, no. How many people believe that you have a balanced offense right now? You only lost Mekhi Becton. How many people believe that? Limited quarterback, incompetent play caller, and a buffoon as a head coach. This is what I call a complete clusterfuck. How many people believe? No? So wait, I'll ask you again. How many people believe right now what your passing offense is an elite passing offense? Does anybody believe that? Common denominators, quarterback and head coach. Is it that simple? Dude, the most valuable player on your football team's your GM. He proved it to you with Jalen Phillips. The only reason Jalen Hurts wins is because of Howie Roseman. It's not because of that fucking incompetent head coach. It's because Roseman puts as many skilled players as he can possibly dig out of the NFL rosters around the league and puts it on that roster. They win in spite of shitty coaching with those great talented players. Hey, I get it now why you have to have great defensive minds over there on defense, because you're limited because of the shitty coaching you have on the offensive side of the ball. It's shitty. You have a shitty coaching staff on that side of the ball too. First-year head coach, buffoon making dumbass decisions like that in games. What other fucked up decision is he making on the sidelines that you can't hear? I don't know who wins more in spite of, the head coach or the quarterback. No wonder they're replaceable. Your football team is so fucking gifted because of the GM. It doesn't matter who's coaching that team. Run game sucks. Pass game sucks. Pretty much balanced, still. Mikey. No, that's balance. Dude, there is a silver lining. I didn't think that defense was going to. No way. Where are you ranked right now? 18th? No fucking way. Is that the 18th best defense in the NFL? That's way better. No way. 18th? That thing looks more like 10th. You know what your passing offense feels like? Well, what's Tennessee and New Orleans? 30th. Yeah. That's what it, you know how sometimes people go, hey, it's 40 degrees, but feels like 20? Well, your defense feels like a top 10 defense right now. Jersey. I meant for blame, Sills. Gotcha, bro. Thank you. Super chats go to the top. Please hit the like button. Hey, by the way, two things can be true. Fucking team 7-2. Your resume is outstanding. When they count them up at the end, it's going to matter. You beat the Rams, the Bucks, and the Packers, and whatever you do against Detroit. That shit's going to matter. And when you got the Bears too, that shit's going to matter. I don't care how it looks, how you want to mold it. Hey, we beat all the teams that are in the playoff race right now. That is huge. Two things came out of that game. That's another big-time opponent you put on your belt, and your defense looked like a fucking top 10 defense. How is your offense shitting the bed like this, though? Dude, Mekhi Becton. Lane got hurt. Welcome to the NFL. Yeah, I did say one and done. The GM is responsible for the success and failure of the team. Howie's the coach. Howie's not the coach because I don't think Howie makes that stupid fourth down fucking move. Even Howie must have been sitting in the booth going, what are you doing? Dude, a guy that makes that kind of personnel decisions. And then to watch Nick do that, almost sabotage that game, there's no way Howie Roseman sitting in that booth up there watching that game last night going, nice move, coach. Nice move, coach. Jalen Hurts played bad. We're the only fan base that calls for a new quarterback when he plays bad. You have not heard me in here say one fucking thing about him being replaced. Have you, fucking douchebag? Where did you hear me say that? Made up again. Fake news douchebag. Everybody knows what the problem is on the team. Some people just won't admit it. They will not. Okay? They will not. See this guy here? This guy is a bitch because he moans because I tell the truth. Your quarterback is limited. Face it. Face it. Can't, can you? Crying ass bitch. They had to throw AJ a bone. What? What? Too predictable play calling? Because your quarterback is limited. Let me ask you something here, guys. Jessica, help me out on this. If you had a 15-year-old guy and you had a professor from Harvard teaching you economics versus a guy that's a high school teacher teaching a kid how to read economics as a high school kid, would you give him things that he couldn't understand right out of the gate? Or would you simplify it for the kid to teach him the basics of quarterbacking or economics? You're going to teach the guy and coach the guy to basics. That's Hurts just learned how to set protections. What in the world and what in anyone's wild imagination would make anybody think that guy knows what he's doing in the pocket? I told you, you're one of the people. You should leave. I want everyone to leave that can't handle this truth. Because you're going to hear, and you're going to hear kiss asses everywhere else. You should go there, dude. You'll feel better about your life. And I'll tell you where you are right now as a team. This is not for you. Foles is a better passer than Hurts 10 times. Dude, Tanner McKee's a better passer. That don't make him a better quarterback. Hurts and Sirianni are the biggest overachievers I've seen. Thank you, Howie. You know what? One of the reasons why Nick Sirianni stands on his knees at those pressers and thanks Howie every single presser, I know why. Without him, Nick is Brian Dable. And also, shooter AJ would never work for Vrabel after Vrabel did in the 2022 draft. Vrabel didn't want to get rid of AJ Brown. It was that general manager that wanted to get rid of him. He is fucking limited. And if you don't see it, hey, RC, I'm not debating this with you any longer. If you refuse, your football team beat those teams. Nobody in the world would ever say Jalen Hurts is a fucking talented passer and runs a balanced offense. Nobody, except blinded people like you. You're stupid. Hey, this is not dumb. Every quarterback is limited. Correct. And that's what the Eagles do in Philly. That's exactly what they do. They coach to his limitations. Yes. Don't turn the ball over. Don't throw it anywhere. We don't need you at high volume. Make 1 or 2 plays a game, and we got this. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Sills, what is the difference between 22 Hurts and present Hurts? He ran more. I know Steichen's a great coach, but how come no other coach can get that out of Hurts? I'll tell you why. Okay, Jim, RPO puts the game in whose hands? Sue, help him out. What does RPO do for a quarterback? The game plan's in his hands. Watch. When I snap the ball and I take off RPO, I'm reading the end, right? Right, Jim? Shane Steichen has so much faith that the quarterback, Jalen's smart. He's a smart dude. And he reacts on the fly. He looks at the end. If the end drops, Jalen Hurts is going to do what? He's going to run. Because he knows the guy's going to defend the guy coming out in the backfield. He's going to pick him up, and Hurts is going to take off. That takes the entire offensive game plan out of the hands of the coaches. Shane will go like this. RPO 43 right fade and give complete autonomy to Hurts' decision making. Hurts was a better decision maker in 22 than he is now. And they've stopped that progression. That's why when Jalen has the ball in his hands and making decisions for the offense thrives. When the decision comes from the sidelines, don't you get this? I tried to bring a point up the other day about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford gets to the line of scrimmage with about 15 or 16 seconds left before the snap of the ball. Jalen gets to the line of scrimmage with 7. This game against the Lions is giving me 2023 49er vibes. We're getting our teeth kicked in. I wouldn't go there yet. I want to see Detroit. Biggest difference from 22 was the league didn't know Hurts' limitations. That's fair as well. That's fair as well. Again, think of it. 22. Jim, I hope this answers the question. In 22, when Jalen hiked the ball, the entire game plan and the entire play was in his hands, not the sideline's hands. You got fucking buffoons over there. Even Kellen Moore was a buffoon. Hey, turn and hand it to Barkley. Quarterback is left on an island. No coaching, no rhythm, nothing. The 2024 Super Bowl champions, they won it at the expense of developing Jalen Hurts. Okay, that's what you're going to do. And now they think they're going to try to ramp that back up again. Every quarterback, Brady said it, I got better every year. Okay? Dude, you see this one guy said everybody's has ups and downs. I'm not talking about ups and downs. I'm talking about limitations in your skill. On half of Hurts' completions, you can't watch them without thinking, man, if he only threw it sooner. How about when he tried to do that to Goddard? he has no feel on the short throws. Did you see that one play to Goddard where he got back? Goddard didn't even get out of his stance, and he throws the ball. He tried to throw with anticipation, which I thought was the first time I saw him throwing to a spot. And I was like, okay. But he rushed it. Because why? He doesn't throw that ball, and he's not comfortable throwing that ball. He has no feel for the game and those type of throws. I mean, that little limitation you saw. Goddard got out of his stance, and before he even turned, he took 3 steps. Hurts threw the ball, trying to go in anticipation. I actually like him doing that. And it fell to incompletion. If you saw Goddard's face, he was shocked. He was like, he couldn't believe that Hurts had thrown the ball like that. That was one of the only anticipation throws I saw Hurts throw the entire night. Was that little screen pass. You even heard Aikman go, they don't really throw that play that much. That was the first time I saw him throw an anticipation throw. I mean, they didn't do it again. They need to get Goddard more involved. It'd be a great security blanket for him. By the way, this shit on AJ. I don't know. How many targets did he have in the game? 2. 3. And 13 yards. 3 targets and 13 yards. Excuse me, I'm joking. That's offensive malpractice. That guy hasn't lost a step. You know what he's lost? Trust in the coaches. And the coaches have lost trust in him. Why would you fucking have that guy on your team when you don't use him? And then the head coach, in one of the critical times in the game, his fucking lame ass excuse was, we wanted to get the ball to AJ. How about you wanted to run the clock down? I wanted to get the ball to AJ? That's not winning football. Look, you won the game, right? I'm talking about winning a Super Bowl here. If you guys came here for me to break down the Green Bay game, you got the wrong show. I'm talking about you potentially winning a Super Bowl. Hey, does Dan Sileo think you have the talent to win it? Yeah. I don't think you have the direction. I don't think you have the scheme. And I don't think you have the quarterback to get you back there right now. If those coaches don't do something that's in the best interest of the quarterback, this is not going to be a quarterback problem. This is a coaching problem. You know why people are confused on whether or not Kevin Patullo is a good coordinator? You keep asking this question. Why can't get the ball to AJ? Well, Jalen can. It's not Jalen can't get the ball to AJ. He can't. Kevin Patullo can't. Jalen can. Jalen can get the ball to him. They can't. Because he's a training wheel coach. That's the Joe. I know it's kill Hurts day. No. If you just heard me what I said, and I agree he's limited, but on the bright side, no sacks first Parsons, okay? and Gary, and that defensive front was something to build. Absolutely true. Hey, that's the Jew. Let me tell you something, man. I'll say it again. The coaches are hurting Jalen Hurts. They've stunted his growth. The quarterback is limited, but he's a winner. Play to that. And they do. Okay? And they do. My problem is with the coaches and the fans. If you think you're going to have some sort of high-powered passing game, what are you waiting for? How many more games do you need to see? Before that, there's no metric to that. Well, Sil's the Super Bowl, okay? And sporadic games along the way. See, here's your beauty of your team. Jalen can play like shit and win. These other quarterbacks in the NFL, they play like shit, they lose. That's a compliment. That's a compliment. It's completely a compliment. Kevin Patullo is not fit to be the OC for this team. He's the biggest problem with the offense. Okay, you're blaming a guy for calling plays who doesn't know how to call plays for a player who's got limitations. If you go down that lane, I'm with you. Bro, Nick Sirianni signs off on all this. If that guy makes that bullshit decision with 40 seconds left in the game, how much more is he getting in the way of? This is a smart take. Seals, I've always accepted Jalen's limitations. Okay, so far so good. Am I crazy to think better coach? Yes, 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 yes. Curtis, yes. Shane Steichen, yes. Remember what I want to show you something. You know, it's funny. When I say something, my takes become people in Philly's takes. Do you remember what I said when you hired Kellen Moore? What does Kellen Moore know about RPO? Turns out nothing. What does Kevin Patullo know about RPO? Where in his history coaching in Indianapolis or anywhere else did he coach RPO? Why? Because he sat at the dinner table with the big fellas when they were putting the game plan together when Steichen was here 3 years ago? That doesn't mean he knows what the fuck he's doing. Kellen Moore turned from a pass-happy coordinator to turning and handing the ball off. And by the way, how much of that was Stoutland instead of Kellen Moore? Jeff Stoutland with a 2K running back and the best O-line in the last 25 years. You think that's going to be successful? Boy, I do. How much was clouded and covered by Jeff Stoutland? That Kellen Moore and what he did a year ago. I bet you in that room and in that NovaCare Center, I bet you the Eagles are going, Kellen Moore got the head coaching job in New Orleans based off the back of what Stoutland did. He's the run coordinator. Wait a minute. Jeff Stoutland was the run coordinator in 24. What was Kellen Moore's job? To develop Jalen. Well, he didn't do it. Okay. I think it's very simple. Sills, what's the answer for Hurts' inefficiencies in the passing game? Go back to what he did great and evolve it. Listen, you know what? Xander does this all the time. And this is the prime example of the problem that he has. Not Xander, but Hurts. How many times you hear Xander go like this? I saw it in 22. How many of you said it? I saw it in 22. I saw it in 22, right? Well, you haven't seen it since. Because they haven't put that kind of coach around him. because they don't know how to hire that coach. Nick's a passing guy. Worked with Rivers in San Diego and LA and Indianapolis. What the fuck does he know about RPO? Where in the world would you think he knows what he's talking about with RPO? Shit, Kellen Moore didn't know what RPO was. He went, dude, thank God. If Saquon Barkley was not signed by Howie Roseman, Kellen Moore would have been fired. How many people believe that? If Howie didn't sign a year ago, Saquon Barkley, Kellen Moore would have been fired. He'd have been fired. Dude, they did the same shit to Carson Wentz. That front office and sidelines wants to control the money because the owner wants a high passing. I guarantee you. Hey, is that story true? Wait, Doug said it on this program that he had that meeting in that about that playoff game against Green Bay, was it? Green Bay or Atlanta? What was it? Green Bay? They won 17-14. The owner wanted to know why the offense sucked. You don't think they're having that fucking meeting now? Hey, and by the way, you don't think the owner's asking a question about that 40 seconds? Here's Prince. Atlanta sales. Thanks, Kyle. The offense is inconsistent because we have coaches who don't know what they're doing. Okay? No game flow. We still can't figure out zone coverages after 9 games. Do you know what he's saying here? It's so basic. This is like your second year of college shit. That's not all on Hurts. Hey, let me pull this back here a little bit. Hurts may be limited, but he's a fucking gamer. They're not coaching this guy at all. Dude, bring me Joe Brady. I'd love to have Joe Brady. No, they would never hire him because Joe Brady would put the game in Jalen's hands. And they would lose control of that. Joe Brady would make Jalen better. I'm not sure they want to. Hey, get this. Doesn't Jalen ever go like this? Let me throw the fucking ball more. I've got Devontae and A.J. Brown. I'm throwing the ball more. I don't know. Am I wrong when I say that Frank Reich knows the RPO system would use it effectively with Foles? Yeah. Let me tell you, because I'm not going to hurt my relationship with Frank Reich, I'm not. There's so many things he says that are wrong with Hurts right now. I shouldn't be saying this because the chances of getting him on again would be limited because the Eagles watch this show. There's so many things wrong with him. His feet, what he's looking at, how he doesn't use. They put him under center to help him to stop from running. Bro, if anything, you have to do what Dick Vermeil said. Make him run more. Wink Martindale told him, Jalen, what makes you a threat is your ability to get out in space. So they're taking that away by putting him under center? Why? Just 100% bullshitting right now. How many people think I'm bullshitting right now? I'm 100% bullshitting right now? Frank Reich's been on this program 3 times, guy. 2 as a head coach in the NFL. 1 Carolina, 1 in Indianapolis, and he was my former teammate 35, 40 years ago. This guy says I'm lying. How many people in here have seen Frank Reich in here and know my relationship with him? He says I'm bullshitting. How many people think that? Dual threat, baby. Hey, Steve-O. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Flexin. I'm not putting this all on Hurts. Foles won the Super Bowl because the coaches went back to Chip Kelly's playbook, RPO, zone read concepts, and we won our first Super Bowl. For us getting Hurts to be great, go back to the RPO with combinations of play action. You'll see a better Hurts. Completely 1,000% agree with you, Steve-O. Okay? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Yes. Steve-O, thank you. Thank you, folks. Appreciate that. He doesn't watch the show because he just assumes because these other guys bullshit him. Okay? Okay? Right? And wait a minute. Hey, M. Reyes, you picked one fucking meathead out of it who knows that Frank Reich's been on this program 4 times, and he told us that he's going to be a member of the Philadelphia Eagle fucking coaching staff at the end of the year. You think that's bullshit too, kid? Hey, guy, go sit in the corner with your fucking meathead friend, Dickhead Reyes. Okay? Hey, M. Reyes, man, that's your boy, huh? He stinks in the pocket. And it's because of your shitty coaches. Your Hall of Fame coach, according to Reuben Franks. This guy's got a mantle on the bust already made for that dude. Give me a fucking break. The guy's a meathead. What a meathead coach. 40 seconds. What are you doing? Let's go for it. Holy shit. Hey, very, very Don Shula-like. What a fucking meathead. Hey, let's go for it. Hey, let's scream at the fans. I need Big Dom on the sideline so I don't act like a dick. I've never seen a guy have a babysitter as an NFL head football coach. They put a babysitter on the sidelines because the guy's too emotional. Oh, my God. Isn't it crazy that we still talking about Hurts needing to develop and learn the pass? There's nothing wrong with continuing to develop. He's 5-6 years in now, 100%. AJ's gone after this year. Dude, I think quarterbacks have to evolve every year. I don't think you ever stop evolving. I totally do. Hey, look at this. Look at this douchebag's take. Nick is an assassin. Not all daggers are going to hit. 40 seconds left in a fucking football game, going for it, where you give the team an opportunity to have 2 throws to tie the game. It's assassin. That's all you need to know about this high school thinking fucking nobody. Hurts has had different coach and OCs every year by design. Assassin. He's an assassin. He sure is. He almost assassinated the game last night. Okay? Assassin. He's an assassin. Everybody on the planet. My X account's blowing up. What's Sirianni doing? I don't know. Seemed like the thing to do. What a coach. I would put that guy in charge of St. Joe's prep. They'd fire him. The nuns and the sisters would come in and go, Hey, Nick Sirianni, can you please bring your Bible and your playbook? We'd like them back now. No communion for you today. I used to start my day out with communion. Can you believe that? Every day at Catholic High, I had to go get communion every single morning. Every morning I had communion. Got to go in, do communion, they do the thing and all that, and you're on your way. Thank you, Father Bob. Appreciate it. That guy married me to my wife. The priest that I had at Catholic High married me and my wife. He's still my priest. Crazy. Seals, this staff doesn't coach to emphasize Hurts' strengths. They coach to hide his flaws. Yes. Big Dom is like a bouncer at a strip club, and Nick's like the dancer on stage that loses his marbles. And there's Big Dom. Got to pin it up like that, So there's Big Dom. Hey, get off the stage, Nick. Let's go. Time to get off the stage. Let's go. Make sure you bring your shoes. Let's go, Nick. Nick! Yeah, I doubt it. In Philly, I doubt it. With your liberal DA, I doubt it. Did he also take, excuse me? I'm hoping you're, Jesus, I hope you're talking to a chick. I think. I don't know. 3 OC coaches that worked with Jalen have become head football coaches. Yeah, really. Hey, I got to say, man, Kellen did so much for that passing offense, which was 29th last year. Congratulations to you. Brady never stopped evolving. That's right. Hurts has to continue to evolve. Okay? Some weird things in here. Nicky Sirianni. What a coach. Holy shit. There was some strategy there, man. Yeah, I wanted to get the ball to AJ with 40 seconds left. Yeah, you got to get him a target. Yeah, but there's 40 seconds, Nick. And Green Bay just needs a field goal. Oh, I know. But I had to get him a target because, he'll be bitching and posting shit up social media and he'll be writing cryptic things to me. Get this, folks. What am I BSing about? What are we BSing about? Why in the world would I come on here and bullshit you, Chuck? You're assuming that I care what you think. You're just assuming that. Well, if I was Jalen Hurts' uncle, I'd fire every one of them fucking coaches and bring somebody in for the guy that could help him evolve as a quarterback. Your job. Your job. My job is to tell the truth, not bullshit with you. Look at Roly Philly guy. He's screaming right now for my attention. Next time you get my attention, douchebag, you'll be paying for it. You're in now that group of people that have to pay for my attention. You want me to recognize you? You pay for it. The rest of these folks in here, out of the gratitude of their hearts, they help the channel and us. And I go to them anyway. You have to pay for my attention. And if you don't, you could sit there and moan. Oh, wait. I got to get to my topics. How come the Lions could score 13 on the Packers defense and nobody talks shit on Golf and the Lions? Okay. Because that offense is one of the best offenses in pro football. And they're consistent. They may have a down game. You suck in the passing game every fucking day. There's the difference. Sirianni looks like he grabbed Kotai's playbook last night. That was horrible. Go Rich Kotai now. Nikki Kotai. Nikki Kotai. You're damn right. You make every goddamn excuse up in the world for your quarterback, and you don't want to face the fact that he's limited and the coaching staff doesn't know how to coach him. It's okay. Hey, A.J. Brown's become a problem in your offense now. You're not using him. Why didn't you trade him? So get this. You answer and Adam Schefter post tweets that A.J. Brown is not tradable. You turn around in the first game coming out of the bye and he gets 3 targets. Solid. Every quarterback has limitations. And the good coaches and the good organizations coach to those limitations, and they make sure that they win. And that's what the Eagles are doing. That's why you'll never be a good passing team. Ever. $4,000 and 30 touchdowns. Okay. Let's see if he breaks 3,500 this year. 30 touchdowns. Okay. Hey, $4,000. Okay. Yeah. Even Kotai would have punted it. You okay? Yeah. Oh, wait. He's right on the number 3,500. That number will fall. It'll fall. Yeah, don't worry. I say Jalen throws for 3,200 yards this year. $4,000. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hey, this is ridiculous. By the way, I'm not really throwing all this hay at him. It's your bullshit sideline. We're gonna run the offense from the sidelines instead of giving the Hey, how about this? Let me ask you something here. How many years has Jalen Hurts been a starting quarterback? 5 now? When do you just say Jalen? Go ahead. Patrick Mahomes has that autonomy. Josh Allen does. Hey, go ahead. That guy will never fucking throw for 30 touchdowns. Ever. Oh, he'll throw for like limited TDs because you know what they're going to do? They're going to pray to run game, which is right now not happening. Jalen's a winner. Don't forget it. Oh, I know. He's a winner. So is Tebow. Tim Tebow Hurts. All fucking winners. I love those winners, man. Oh, Tebow is amazing. I bet M. Reyes loved Tim Teabag too. Bet. You bet. I'll bet you anything, man. I finally realized the media picks on the champs because we're the standard. We're the champs. And those other teams are regular season number teams. What an epiphany that is. Well reached there, doofus, Philadelphia, whatever. The Eagles are top 5 in TDs allowed. Okay? I've never seen so many people make excuses for winning. We win. Sills, eat crow because he said Hurts would never win a Super Bowl. You got to live with that shitty take. I also will live with your quarterback will never fucking throw for 4K and 30 touchdowns. Ever. And you'll have one of the shittiest passing games in pro football as long as he's the quarterback forever. This is too good. And you know what I have? Facts. Nothing but the facts. Hey, I told you Barkley, what did I say? Be under 1,500 yards, somewhere in there? He may not get there. Tim T-Bone Steak just wins, baby. Hurts just wins. Let's see what let's see what Barkley, let's see what he's trending for. I bet you that's a big number. Let me see. Saquon Barkley. Oh, he's got 60. He's going to be 1,000. 1,000 yards. So this guy goes from 2K to $1,000. Woo. It's the old line, Sills. Yeah, okay. It's because they don't respect the passing game. So they're loading up the box. Loading up the trucks, going to Beverly. How you doing? I don't respect the passing game. Why should I respect the passing game? They can't get the ball to AJ. Fuck. Okay, one guy's catching the footballs. Now it's Devontae. You notice that? They can't get the ball to AJ. They can't get the running game going. Your offense right now is Goddard and Devontae and nothing else. How you doing? Championship football. Oh, it only took an hour and 18 minutes for a douchebag to bring that up because he hates facts. So he goes to low-hanging bullshit. Hey, fuck that guy. Whatever. Hey, get this. Eat, you know what? My aunt watches the show, so I can't go too crazy. That doesn't scare me anymore. I don't hide under my desk over that. Eat one, guy. Pull the race card as a bitch move. Of course, because that's what you have when you're winning an argument. People pull bullshit like that. Facts. Yeah, go say that bullshit to Michael. Or Hey, you're right, Sue. The guy's a fucking earthworm. How come you didn't talk shit about how you said he was a 5-win team in Commanders? I never said a 5-win team. Who said I said that they were a 5-win fucking football team? When did I say that? I said the Cowboys were a 5-win team. Seals, Jalen clearly is not a high-volume passer, but his resilience and winning attitudes are absolutely true. Absolutely true. Here, let me go with this guy. Here's your last. Here is your last post. You are now in the group of having to pay for my attention. Congratulations. Keep posting away. Thank you. Okay. No, we just address it. Be the last time he's ever spoken to in here. I don't block. I ignore. Sills, be honest. If you could trade this, would you? Would you rather have gone to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years or put up regular season numbers for 8 years like Josh Allen and not win shit? Obviously, I would take the latter. Okay? My problem is with people having expectations that you think your football team is going to have balance. Your quarterback is limited. I'm saying you're coaching. You're missing the point, dude, today. You think I'm talking shit on Jalen. I'm talking shit the way they're coaching him. And his limitations put him on an island where he looks like he sucks. Jalen doesn't suck. They suck. John, I'm going to be careful here. Ask Xander when he comes on at 3:30. Okay? The moment I talk shit on Howie Roseman, coaches, players, and executives were no longer allowed to come on my program. Nick Sirianni had agreed to come on. Frank Wright gave me a cell number. Okay. Bob Lane called me and was upset with me, being critical of Howie Roseman. Fair enough. So why would I put anybody on with you? And I know who you are. Guy called me a motherfucker. Bob Lane, your PR director, called me a motherfucker. I hadn't talked to Bob in 20 years. Called me a motherfucker. I said, Bob, no need for this. I know who you are. Yeah, because I used to go around him and go to Ed DeBartolo and get Mr. Dion. Okay? Do you think that Bob Lang would allow any reporter to say any negative things about a coach? No. He would not. He would not. It's already been confirmed, dude. Stop. Listen, you'll believe anything the Eagles tell you. But when I tell you, and I've got text messages I sent to Xander. And he called him. Coach is limited? Yeah. He says, you made a great take regarding Dean, even though they signed Bond and Campbell being a number one. Do you think in the offseason they would trade Bond? No. I think the problem that you're going to have is, do you trust Nakobe Dean's body to hold up? Hey, how about this? If Nakobe Dean doesn't make the rest of the year and he goes on IR sometime again, are you going to sign him? Why? You can't count on him. If you're going to let Dallas Goedert go, why would you keep Dean? At what, 10 million? It's got to make sense, guys. Sills, he's a really good football player. Nobody's debating that now. He just can't stay on the field. So how many games has he been in now? 3? Is it 3 this year? 3 out of 9. So he's missed 6 ball games this year, correct? Okay. 6 games this year. Postseason a year ago. Numerous games his first year. Let's see what happens the rest of the year. Who knows? He may make the decision even harder if he's healthy. Here's the issue. They keep trying to make Kurtz a drop back. Completely true and dumb. But wait a minute. Jose, why do you think they keep... This goes to firing of Kevin Patullo and why you guys don't like Kevin Patullo. Jose, I know you know the answer. I believe it. Here's the issue. They keep trying to make Kurtz a drop back, pure passer. He's not that. He's an RPO guy. Okay, Jose, what kind of guys do they hire for Jalen Hurts as a quarterback? As an OC or quarterback coach or whatever? What kind of guy do they hire? They hire pocket passing OCs. Why do you hire a pocket passing OC for a guy who thrives in another system? Why do you think Daniel Jones is thriving with Shane Steichen and not Brian Dable? Why do you think? He runs a more conventional RPO. He has a dynamic run game. What do you think the difference between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants are? Here, guys, this will be a stolen take. What is the difference between coaching Brian Dable and Daniel Jones in New York and Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. What's the difference? Come on. I know you're smart. Help me out here. What's the difference? Jonathan fucking Taylor. RPO works better when you have an effective run game and a good old line. What did Hurts have in 22? You had a guy rush for the fourth greatest total in Eagle history. You forget Miles went for almost 1,300 yards that season. You had a Pro Bowl running back. Right? Jonathan Taylor. And he didn't have. Hey, the year they went to the playoffs, Barkley had a pretty good season running the ball, right? Daniel Jones beat Minnesota on the road, right? In the playoffs. They were like, wow, he got coach of the year over that shit. Offensive line went to shit. Running back wasn't healthy. Daniel Jones fell to shit. Well, look at the dynamics he has in Indy. Jonathan Taylor is on pace for a Saquon Barkley season right now. They've got pretty decent receivers there as well. And they got a lights-out defense, and they got Nelson, who I told you a couple of years ago was the best left guard in football after Zach Martin. Players around Daniel Jones are better. Shane understands the RPO better. Dable is more reckless with it. Look at the way he managed the player, Jackson Dart, on the sideline, screaming at neurologists. One thing that Shane doesn't do, Shane doesn't protect his quarterbacks, because here's the thing the Eagles don't like about RPO. What does RPO do? Doesn't protect the quarterback. Quarterback gets killed in that offense. What saves Jones? Jones is a better passer than Hurts in the pocket. He's a better passer, not quite the runner, but they're kind of similar. The Eagles run the same plays over and over because that's all Hurts can run, correct? Or he feels comfortable with. That's not an OC. That's the quarterback doing that. But the quarterback doesn't like the offense. That's why he keeps it simple. RPO is 3 plays: run, pass, option. The play calling is limited due to the quarterback. Wake up, fanboys. That's right. But in that way of doing it, they did in the past. You guys, I knew it in 22. When I said to you, is this the best version you'll ever see of Jalen Hurts? You guys were like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see what kind of coaches they bring in. And they brought in turds. They brought in coordinators for Nick, not Jalen. I said this 2 weeks ago to you. Remember me asking this question? What do you think they hired these OCs for? Nick or Jalen? I think it's more evident than ever. They hire him for Nick, because Nick has a better communication on the passing game. And Nick Sirianni. Dude, let me go over to some good news. Holy shit. Can Vic Fangio coach? It's like Buddy Ryan stuff. It's like Bud Carson shit. Like that stuff. Woody Wolfenheimer. Guy was with the Steel Curtain. Belichick. It's like that shit. Bill Arnsparger. Fucker's unbelievable. And boy, I'll tell you, I think Howie brought something up the other day that many people passed on. He goes, yeah, someone goes, hey, it makes the conversations easy. He goes, an easy conversation with Vic? Vic must give him a ton of shit. He must give him a ton of shit when he talks about players that he wants or the type of player he wants. He must talk a ton of shit to him. Because let me tell you this. These guys were bums before he showed up. Nolan Smith, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis. These guys were bums. Vic shows up. Dude, Nakobe looks like he's got Pro Bowl talent. Nolan Smith, look what Howie did. Howie brought a player in. He has Vic. All of a sudden, Nolan Smith and Alex Hunt look like ball play. I mean, it was like those guys need a DNA test. One game. By the way, I take a lot away from Green Bay. That's a good defensive football team. Their offense became limited, but no excuses. It's the NFL. You get fucking hurt, I don't care. Dobbs goes out. Welcome to the league, man. War of attrition, bitch. Fucking. Hey, I told you guys would like Jalen. I know Xander goes like this to me. He told me, he goes, Sills will shit on this move. Hey, I'm a little partial to Miami guys. I'm a little partial to them Hurricane guys. Oh, by the way, you ready for this one? Hey, you're going to love this. So this morning on the Tampa show, before I bring Xander in, I went like this. Do you know that Drew Rosenhaus was told that Jalen Phillips was going to be moved? So guess what he did? He called Jason Light with the Bucks. And you know what the Bucks said? We're good with our edge rushers. They have no edge rushers. Hassan Reddick's name and face are on a milk carton, and it's being passed around Tampa for 1-800. Please call Jason Light at $1 place. And I'm like, there lies the difference between Jason Light, who I think's a good GM, and Howie Roseman. Howie adds that guy, and it's like a linchpin. I thought he's one of the top players on the field, both sides of the ball. He was like your Micah Parsons. That was good shit, dude. By the way, Mark Trestman's going to be on with us at 5:30. Former head football coach in National Football League. He's a quarterback guru. He's right now a consultant for the Chargers. He's a dear friend of mine. And we're going to talk about Kevin Patullo, Playcalling, RPO, from a guy who's designed these things. Not a guy who just sits around and fucking talking about them. A guy who's called by teams to be a consultant. Jim Harbaugh hired him as a consultant. He's coming on to talk. That'll be at 5:30. I've never seen a guy get more pissed off over a win in my life. And last night, boy, I'll tell you, man, I liked our postgame show. I did. Yes, sir, baby. Can you imagine A.J. Brown walking off the sideline going, hey, mother, I only got 3 targets. What are you talking about? What do you mean? And a little battle going on the sidelines there in the NFL. That's what we got here at JAKIB. At least it's genuine, unlike that other bullshit you have in Philly. Oh, yeah, and by the way, top 10 quarterbacks and the top 10 teams will be unveiled today. How you doing? We're going to do that today, too. So without further ado, it has been, let's see, it's probably been about 3 hours since the guy got to bed or had any rest. He probably went until 3 o'clock in the morning. And then he had to get up and do Birds 365. And he was with us last night. And now here he is as we get ready for our segment here. Big Z. Xander Kraus joins us now.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
Oh, good, dude. All right. Couple minutes or a couple hours, I should say, after the win, 10-7 at Lambeau. Your takeaways, man. I mean, have you changed your opinion on anything, or have you added some more context to anything?
Well, I think the opinion that's changed is that when you go into Lambeau on the road, you got to come out of there with a win. That's obviously a good thing. But I think the thing that hasn't changed and will never change is I'm not going to sit here and just accept mediocrity on offense because we won a game 10-7. I mean, I don't think this offense is doing enough of what it needs to do to go back to the Super Bowl. Now, I'll start with the positives, though. The defense looks so far ahead of schedule, it's not even funny. I mean, Jalen Phillips looks like he is changing not only the edge rushing group, but everybody. The defensive tackles look better. The linebackers benefited in a big way because of that. When you have a great defensive line, that helps out your secondary in a big way. So I think the defense is really in a good spot right now. They've gotten better each week. And boy, thank God for Vic Fangio because, you know, they're the star of this football team again. They're the star of this football team despite being the second cheapest defense in pro football. Crazy to think about, but, you know, it's impressive what Vic Fangio is able to do with that unit. A lot of first-round picks there, so I get it. You know, not all of them have reached their contract yet, but that's the obvious positive. Now, when you go over to the offensive side of the ball, I think the context of the style of game that it was has to be factored in. But again, like average to me, average is a disease. And some people love to accept average for what it is. And it's comfort and it's all this bullshit. And I don't live my life like that. I don't live my life in anything that I do. So the Eagles being what they are and performing like they have offensively, it leaves so much to be desired that it's hard to look past it. But I get it. I mean, they're winning football games. You got to get to the next week. You got to be in a position to win in the playoffs. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't have a lot to be desired from the offense. It's average at best. In fact, is average even appropriate?
No,
it might be below average.
It is below average.
I mean, I saw you put out a tweet today. The Eagles don't have an elite offense. I almost answered back, elite? Fuck you talking about? They don't have a good offense. Elite? They don't have a good offense.
You had elite players on it. You have elite players on it.
Elite players, but, you know, Saquon's not running the same this year. And I don't think that's all him, but it's a part of the offense. The running game's just not the same. The passing game is, I don't know, what it was last year. You know, so you're going to need the defense, in my opinion, to be even better than they were a year ago if you want to run the gauntlet in the NFC and go back and win. So I think there's a lot of things to improve on, but it's only week 10. There's a long way to go here, and it's good to get a win in Lambeau Field.
Well, these games are getting lesser. You're going into week 11 here. You know what I mean? I mean, we're okay. So would this be a fair analogy on your offense? The Eagles are just happy making a profit. I'm going to put it in business aspects for you. You know, some companies just are happy to make a profit. They're not looking to benefit and advance all the assets they have on their team or in their building. So what they're doing is, instead of reaching and investing in other things and doing more to try to bring more profit in, they're happy with the return. The Eagle coaches are happy with the return, and the return is wins. They're not striving to be greater than what they can be. They're happy with who they are.
Well,
is that not how you're seeing this?
No, I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, I think the other factor is you are playing great players too, you know, across from you. So, but
third toughest schedule too.
Yeah. You think that Packer defense is as good as they looked last night?
Oh yeah, I do. Well, and look at the losses too. They didn't lose those games against the Carolina Panthers and the Browns because they didn't stop those teams from scoring. They did stop them from scoring. It was that inept quarterback of theirs that couldn't move the sticks That defense has played pretty damn good all year long, even in their losses, Xander. Look at the Carolina. I look at those losses like that. They didn't lose. What they surrender? 13 points to the Browns? Dude, 13 points you lose in an NFL ball game? How are you not scoring more? All right. You said something about, what'd you say, style of game or style of approach in a football game? Xander, I thought you were the big bully. I thought you dictated style. I thought you dictated pacing. I thought you were the guy who was going to tell them how this game was going to go, not style of play. That is, to me, a soft approach where, hey, what are they doing? I'm going to conform to what they're – fuck
Yeah,
that.
but isn't this who
I'm
we've
going to
become?
punch you in the head.
Isn't this who we've become?
It is.
Which is, in a way, why I get angry after a game like last night, because we have this team that, don't listen to me. There's people who have been fans of this team a lot longer than I've been alive. I'm 27 years old. There's people who have been fans of this team for 40, 50 years that say that's the best collection of talent we've ever had in Philly.
I agree.
And we let defenses dictate to us instead of us going out and imposing our will. I don't give a rat's ass that you have Micah Parra. I don't care who's on your side. I'm imposing my will. And I'm not trying to say that those players don't
That's a
deserve
mentality.
Right. It's a mentality. And I think the Eagles just allow teams to bully them into how they want to play. And to me, that's weak. To me, that's
a
weak.
defeatist mentality.
I think the bigger picture, though, is, like, do you think this is an offense that can do what they did last year? I don't. Well,
they were one-dimensional last year.
Yeah, but they at least had the dimension.
Okay.
They don't have that anymore. And the passing game is still as inconsistent as it's ever been.
Don't you think that last year's style of play regressed the quarterback?
What's that?
Don't you think last year's style of play regressed the quarterback this year?
Well, I think they've changed his approach in terms of how conservative they've asked him to be. I mean, he doesn't even try and really push the ball down the field too much.
He doesn't demand it.
So, I think part of it is they've asked him to do that. And, I think Jalen really does. The thing I love about Jalen is I truly believe he really only cares about winning. And because they're winning so much, I think he's bought into what they're doing. Even if it looks as ugly as it is. If they weren't winning, I think he'd be like, bullshit, let's go impose our will so we can win. But they're winning. And he's like, he's bought into this brand because it's worked. But there's so much out there, man. And if you think it's a good philosophy to hope our defense can hold teams to 7 points, I mean, that's crazy talk. You're lucky Jordan Love was worse than Jordan Love was awful last night.
Awful.
He was awful. That dude is so streaky, inconsistent. It's crazy. I mean, Jordan Love stinks. Yeah, I thought he was terrible.
I'm out. I'll never have. You'll never see that guy. I don't care if he throws for 10 touchdowns next week. I'm out, man. He's just not it. What about the 3 targets to AJ? You mean to tell me you can't get that guy? And I say this with respect, Xander. I don't think it's Jalen that can't get him the ball. I think it's Kevin Patullo that can't get him the ball.
Well, I think Kevin Patullo sucks. I don't think Kevin Patullo has done a good job at all. I mean, I was talking to somebody, Eagles Eric, his name is on Twitter, he broke down. He's one of those like film guys, like he really dives into the film and stuff like that. And that's not as much my lane, but he really thinks it's all Patullo. And he's not like a Jalen fanboy, but he's like, this is a bad offense. The offensive scheme that they're running and deploying is trash. Now I'll read you what he said to me. He said, Patullo has no awareness during the game. The Packers are flooding the strong side against 12 and 13 personnel and triggering downhill against pistol, leaving a huge weak side bubble, and they attack it one time and get the easiest 7 yards. Packers linebackers didn't even flinch on the under center play action, and Hurts is dropping so deep he can't get it to anyone downfield. In other words, he's dropping like 8 yards on those play actions. The Packers' weaknesses were outside corners and ISO and 2-on-1 in their safeties in cover 2. They ran a seam go and get a guy wide open, and Jalen sails it, but then they never go back to that play. I remember exactly what, I think it was to Calcaterra that he was talking about. O-line was a train wreck. So, he's kind of looking at it like, even if Jalen's not playing his best game, the scheme that they're running versus when they're factoring in the opponent that they're going up against. Like, in other words, if you're going up against a great pass rush and you want to pass the football and you want Jalen to be successful when they're rushing the passer, you need to give him quick outs, quick options to throw the football. He's like, the routes are 10 yards. I mean, a lot of times the pass rushers get into Jalen, and the receivers haven't even looked back at Jalen because they're still 8 yards up the field getting into their route. So there's context there, but look, I don't think Jalen's playing great football right now, or he certainly didn't last night. He obviously did in week 7 and 8. He's not playing great right now. I think the coaching is abysmal, and I don't know. I mean, it's tough because we're a defensive team, and I don't really know that we were meant to be a defensive team.
No, that's not where the money is.
It's a good thing that we are a defensive team, but
yeah, you're defensive.
Isn't it fair to just say, like, this offense should be doing a little more? Like, I get it. People are like, we won, who cares? I understand. All right, I get it. A lot of you guys don't view football like that. I don't view it that way, but you're entitled to believe that. But don't you, when you watch the game, if you're one of those people, you're like, man, can't we move the ball a little bit better? Can't we find A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith a little bit more? I mean, you said to me, this is how low the bar is. You said to me in the postgame show, Goddard had a big game, and it felt like he did. I'm with you. He had some big catch. He had 4 catches for 40 yards.
Yeah.
Like, that's our new, good job. We got him the ball. Like, dude, we have accepted this offense that is just doesn't move the football. I mean, look, I hope it doesn't catch up to him, but that's my concern right now. When I'm angry, it's because I feel like it's going to get caught up to them eventually. And if they do have one game where that defense can't hold an offense, to 7 points, 14
or injuries,
under 20 points. Yeah. I mean, is the offense going to be able to do the job? I don't know. They have really been inconsistent this year. I mean, they've been more inconsistent than they were last year, I think.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah. I mean, this offense is just – so
would you make
I don't know what to make of it because you beat a team in Green Bay at Lambeau. It's a tough place to play, man. It's a good team. I guess it's a good defense on the road in the cold weather. Like, I don't want to let that go. I do understand that part of winning, but
yeah, you're talking about winning
so much on the bone. You're just like, how can I look past it?
Yeah, but you're talking about wanting to win a Super Bowl, not winning a game at Lambeau.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That's the bar you're talking the bar of winning a Super Bowl, not the bar of winning at Lambeau. See, what you did was you just compromised your take. Fuck that. Winning a game at Lambeau, you should be expecting that with that talent on that team to go in there and win that.
I agree, but I also understand how hard it is to win in the NFL.
And that's the reality.
That's the approach, but that doesn't always equal reality.
No.
That should be the mentality, but that's not always reality,
Did you understand where I was coming from last night? That I'm not surprised.
I did understand where you were coming from.
You're disappointed. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, and I'll give you, maybe I was a little too harsh on you. Somebody commented to me, you got to apologize to Sills. Don't worry, everybody. Me and Sills talked off air. Sills knows I love him. But, like, I'm used to John just riding the middle. Like, I'm watching that game, and I'm like, this offense is so bad. And I get on the postgame show, and you of all people is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, yeah, this is what they are. And I'm like, what the fuck, Sills? Normally I'm used to you exploding on this team. Now I'm the one doing it, and you're on John's team. What the fuck?
But
listen, it was a good show.
It was great.
Look, I don't know. It's so hard. This team is so weird, dude. It's so weird. They win a lot. I'll give them that.
Win a lot.
I asked you though. Everybody always tells me Jalen Hurts is a winner. Yeah, and I agree. He is a winner. There's no doubt about it that he's a winner. But is he the reason for the winning, or is he a part of a team that wins? That's where I don't know. And again, it might not matter. Like, who cares? Because the team is what matters, not the quarterback. But,
let me say it here.
The reason that the offense is so stagnant at times. And that's where I had the problem, because if it does bite us in the ass, then you're just like wasting this talent. I mean, by the way, I think AJ Brown's going to be gone next year. No.
Oh, I'm going to get to him in a
pace
second.
For 780 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that's a Quez Watkins here.
He's on pace for 780 yards.
How do you think that's going over?
Look, I think they talked to AJ because his comments in the locker room or last night were, I'm not worried about my targets. It's a tough team win, in Lambeau. They were covering me this way and whatever.
Don't worry.
Maybe AJ won't say anything anymore, but I know AJ's not happy with it. Devontae's kind of clearly, to me, it almost looks like he's become the wide receiver one for Jalen. Jalen looks for him more than he looks for AJ, it feels like to me. I mean, there was one play that kind of went viral on social media, and I don't like to do this because you never know what context goes into a play, but I mean, AJ Brown was literally so wide open right in front of Jalen Hurts' face. It was almost like you couldn't look past it, and there was so much field in front of him. And Jalen just runs right away from him. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? You have A.J. Brown. Like, if I was a quarterback for this team, don't you think you'd drop back and be like, where's A.J.? Like, that's what, like, I get it. There's scheme and there's routes and there's certain timing throws and everything. But Jalen's a playmaking quarterback that makes a lot of plays outside the pocket. I mean, you would think when he goes into that mode, the first thing you're thinking is A.J. 1, Devontae 2. He doesn't even look for AJ anymore. So it's weird. I don't know if there's something going on with them. I'm not going to speculate on that, but it is weird they don't use AJ at all anymore, really.
Okay, so you know what's going around now? The players are trying to throw cover for Nick, saying that Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown went rogue on that
again,
40
like he did in
second.
Seattle a couple years ago?
Yeah, so now what they're doing is, I think that's all Nick. They had timeouts. Nick could have called the timeout. He didn't. What'd you make of that whole sequence at the end of the game there with Nick?
Well, I mean, I think it was, you know what, honestly, that's maybe one thing I've changed on a little bit.
Okay.
Not a lot. I think overall it was still a bad decision. But, like, if you think about it, they were at, like, the 40-yard line. So it's pretty hard to pin somebody in the 20 there when you're punting that short. Like, most of the time, you'll I don't know what the rate is, but you're probably looking at a lot of touchbacks. So you would maybe gain 15 yards.
And you had a 26-mile-an-hour wind behind you.
Right. And they've been pretty successful at that go shot, with AJ and Jalen in that moment. So, again, I think overall it was still a bad decision. But considering the circumstance, I mean, I think you can understand Nick's philosophy of like, all right, do I want to pick up 15 yards here? Or, like, do I want to try and end the game? My defense has not let them score. Basically, I mean, think about it. The only time they scored was when they moved the ball a little bit, but Jahad Campbell took a bad pass interference all the way down in the red zone. The next play, Josh Jacobs ran. That was their only touchdown in the game. That was their only points in the game. That's it. And it required a bad pass interference 30 yards downfield for them to get into the red zone to get a score. So the defense was so freaking good all game that maybe Nick was like, I'll take the opportunity to end this thing right now. So I've come off on like that was as egregious as I thought, but I do think overall it was a little bit reckless. Just punt it there. Don't overthink it. Punt it. You got 25 seconds. They got no timeouts. Kill it out. If it was Jalen and AJ, I don't hate it. I think they should have that. I think that should be a part of the game. Doesn't mean they're always going to make the right decision, but you live on the hill and you die on the hill. I'm not going to, if I want him to have more autonomy at the line of scrimmage, I'm not going to sit here and castrate him if he makes one bad decision to make a call at the line of scrimmage. You either are going to have it or you don't. There's zero expectation that they're going to make the right call every single time. So if they did call it, shit, man, I'm all right with that.
Explain to me Kevin Patullo and Nick, though, throwing the ball with seconds ticking off the clock to stop the clock and basically give them another timeout instead of just running another run play there. It was an incomplete pass. They didn't get it prior. You could have ended the game there if you ran the ball. Do you not see that? That's Kevin Patullo, and that's Nick Sirianni at the end of ball games. That's clock management. They threw the ball prior to that fourth down. Why? Well, fucking why?
Yeah.
Why not run it 40 seconds? You give them the ball with 3 or fucking 2 seconds. Xander, I said it on the postgame. You're not going to do this, obviously. And you're not, but you could have basically snapped the ball, got down to 25 seconds, and what was it, 40? You would have given them 15 seconds instead of you giving them 27 seconds to try to get into field goal position. Dude, clock management, the end of game. This is what really hampered Andy Reid when he was in Philadelphia, was handling moments like that. That's the difference between winning Super Bowls.
Supposed to be good at, right? I mean, that's what Nick is supposed to do.
Yeah. That was poorly handled, the whole thing. And if the players, and listen, if the players did it, I'm totally cool with it. Players wanted to move the sticks.
Yeah.
They wanted to try to end the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Or they were trying to get them to jump off sides, too.
Is that what happened? Apparently, Smitty said something about it on the post-game with Scott Van Pelt. Is that what happened? I didn't see it.
Something like that. They said that, Nick basically wanted to try to get him off sides, but they snapped the ball. Now, supposedly, this is what is being said, too, is that now they could be falling on the sword for their coach. They could be. My whole problem was how it was handled all around. But, why would, again, Hurts doing that is one thing. The coach doing that is putting your team in a position to fail. So, again, I don't know. Well, I don't know. You're never going to get the truth out of Philadelphia. When I'm talking about the Eagles, you're never going to get the truth out of that. What'd you make of Jalen Phillips, bro?
Yeah, amazing addition, man. He looks like he's bringing that entire defense together. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ujoma, by the way, he's another massive positive. But you put an elite edge or a guy that's competent and imposing on the outside. That opens everything up for that defensive line, in my opinion. That defensive line. I mean, if you think about it, they got Jalen Phillips, Jalen Carter, Moro Ujoma, Jalix Hunt, and Nolan Smith. That's 5 guys that can rush the passer. 5 guys that can rush the passer. Then you have Brandon Graham. You have Jordan Davis, to kind of set the edge and stop the running game if you need more help in that area. I mean, they have everything you need on the defensive line. I think Jalen Phillips really brought that together. He had a great game, dude. He had an amazing debut in Philadelphia. He really did. It's amazing what playing with better players can do for a player and a better coach. You can tell he's –
and a better attitude.
Well, better attitude because he's on a winning team.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to play for a team like Miami year after year. So,
it's
massive
addition. Like going to work in a shitty environment, like working at a place you hate versus working at a place you love. Like
I think he's getting paid in Philly.
What?
I think they're paying him.
Again, Xander, remember, when healthy.
Yeah, you're not letting that guy walk out the door. Well, here's the problem with that take by you. Not a problem, but my pushback. The other alternative that they have right now to pay on edge has the same problem. So pick your poison. Who do you want to pay, Nolan or Jalen? Hey, maybe they pay both. I don't know. Or maybe they do the 5th-year option with Nolan, kick it out, get a couple extra years from him.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's not like you're looking at a guy doesn't have those concerns, as an alternative. Both of them have injury concerns. Jalen Phillips is the better player, though, all-around player. At least that's what it looked like in game 1.
Oh, it is. By the way, look at all the first-rounders in the front 7 now. I heard John say that, hey, does it matter now? Hey, that was your evaluation coming out of college that you were a first-round pick. And as a former player who wasn't a first-rounder, that's a big fucking deal to players.
Yeah, it's pedigree, dude.
That's a fucking big thing. That's right. It's pedigree, man. Look at all the first rounders in that front 7 there, man. No, absolutely no question about it. I really liked his addition too. All right. What are you doing to Kobe Dean?
I'm paying to Kobe Dean. Are you kidding me?
Even if he gets hurt again?
Well, if he gets hurt again, that changes the conversation. But that dude's a missile out there on defense, man. I mean, he's a hard hitter. He's totally filled out his body to where doesn't look like an undersized. He's short, but he doesn't look like an undersized backer. He shoots the gap. He's got a great read on defense. He's been great in coverage when he's been asked to do it. I mean, he does everything pretty well.
Vic
He's a great tackler. Vic loves him. Very instinctive player. Great leader on defense. He wears the red dot, calls everything out. I think I'm keeping to Kobe Dean. I get it. The injuries are a thing you got to keep an eye on there. But like you always say, man, welcome to the NFL. Landon Dickerson was drafted with 2 ACL problems. I mean, you know what I mean? You can get healthier. So we'll see. I think is the big problem with Kobe. But his on-field play, I think one of the biggest things there too is Sills. That's an injury that he had last year. That's not really as most players come back from ACLs nowadays. They're more back in the past, an ACL was a lot worse than it is now. They're a lot more common. They have a lot better, procedures to get players back. Same with Achilles and stuff like that. That injury that Nakobe had last year is not a good one. And to the fact that he looks as good as he does, as quick as he does, tells me that, he's in good shape and, he's got a bright future ahead of him if he can stay healthy. I think I would keep him. I would definitely keep him in this year. I mean, I like Campbell, but
Guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Supers go to the top here. Thank you. Speaking of that, dude, Jahad Campbell, they need to cut that out on the edge. He's not capable of doing that right now.
Well, they might change that.
I mean,
I
because
mean, he had 10 snaps.
you see them stretch plays that they were getting yardage on off the edge there. I mean, that was on him. They were reaching him, they were slipping him, they were caving him down and walling him down into the pursuit. Yeah, you know what? It's not a rip on him. It's such a compliment that they asked him to go out there in a need to do that on his athletic ability. But, bro, because Nakobe Dean was brought in, there's no question. John Campbell's reps, they're fucking toast.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he had 22 snaps last night as a linebacker.
Okay.
10 at the edge.
Is that down a lot?
Yeah. I mean, he was playing obviously before Nakobe, he was playing most of them. Nakobe got like 40 something or 40.
So it's ramping up more.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. His days are numbered back there.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, look, I know he's a rookie. I know he's got big upside, but like you're trying to win now. You know what I mean? Like I'll worry about 26 and 26 comes with him. I think he's got a great upside.
I'm not down on him. Absolutely not.
And a perfect example, and I don't say this to pick on Jahad, it's just why you want a veteran when you're competing for a Super Bowl. You know, we're not trying to get to the playoffs here, guys. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. That pass interference downfield. You know, it's a young player. You know, he got beat by a tight end when he really didn't need to take that penalty. He was in fine position. He takes a bad penalty there and puts them all the way down after the Eagles had just extended their lead to a double-digit lead. And then the Packers get right back on the board. Again, I don't set to rip Jahad Campbell. I'm just saying those are the things that when you're a rookie, you have to learn and grow through. So right now you have a player that doesn't have those growing pains and he's playing as well as he is. I think you got to keep Nakobe Dean on the field.
I'll ask again for the 6th straight week. One of those weeks, it wasn't a factor. What's wrong with Barkley?
I don't think there's anything wrong with Barkley. I mean, I think
I say that every week, and I see the same production.
Well, I mean, you do see a lot of these inside zones that they're running over and over again, the same play, and you know the offensive line on the interior in the run blocking has not been the same. That's the big. I think pass blocking they've been fine. I think pass blocking they've been actually good. You know, I think people have just kind of gotten used to Jalen, where it takes a little bit longer to throw the ball. I mean, you know. Holding a defensive lineman for 4 seconds is plenty. You know, that's a long time. So, but I think it's the run blocking. It's the interior and the run blocking. They're not getting the push off the line of scrimmage, and that's why you see Saquon have to make so many jukes behind the line of scrimmage to try and make the first man miss. You know, credit to the Packers, though. They had some good hits on him last night where a lot of times he'll make that first guy miss, and they made the tackle in that play a lot last night. So, he's got to be better, but I really don't think it's like a thing of like Saquon lost a step. I just think the offense isn't. The other part about the running game is there's very minimal threat in the passing game this year. Very, very, very minimal. Even more so than last year in terms of shot plays. And when you have that, it becomes a lot easier to defend and play defense against an offense that wants to run the football. You know, if you don't have any threat to pass or your threat to pass is minimized to a level where defenses are no longer paying attention to it, it's a lot easier to stop the run. If they were able to pass the ball a little bit more consistently, I think that running game would open up a lot more. I mean, look at the New York Giants game. Again, New York Giants, but that's a good defensive line in New York. They have Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. They got some guys up there, and they were able to run in that game. Why? Because they were able to pass the ball a little bit more consistently in that game. And that opens things up for the run. So I think it's a complementary game. And I think right now the offense is struggling because it's so stagnant. It's so stagnant on every area, you know? And by the way, now they're doing this thing with Cam Latu. I like it, but it's so obvious what they're doing. They run the same play every time he's in.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not a good fix if you become overly predictable in that. So look, they got a lot of things to fix with that.
I'm going to send you tomorrow what a defensive game plan looks like. I got one from the Cowboys that I had. I'm going to send it to you, and I'm going to show you how they build this thing. Okay, well, here's the problem. It's schematically what's wrong with your run game. It's schematics, and I'll tell you why. What's the one thing Wink Martindale told Jalen Hurts after the 2023 season? Your threat of running You didn't have it. If I know that Jalen Hurts is not going to be a major factor in the run game anymore, how many of those, Xander, when's the last time you saw him run one of those backdoor where he went opposite like this? He handed off front side and went backdoor. How many of these have you seen him run this year? I haven't seen him run any.
He had one yesterday that was a draw. That was the one he fumbled on. But, not that specific play, but he did have a quarterback draw. Totally caught them off guard, because
when you're a defensive football player and you've got a mobile quarterback, you have to take a linebacker out and spy that guy. When you don't feel the threat, you keep him in the zones and you flood him because the only guy that's the threat is the running back. The quarterback's inability or their inability to want to move him around is what's stopping the run game. Like you said, I don't think the offensive line is having a bad year, even with the injuries in there. I think it's schematics on what they're doing. They're not.
You think that's part on Jalen too? Which I wouldn't knock him for. Just a question. I think he probably knows if I run the ball that much every year, my career is going to be shorter. I'm not going to develop in the pocket like I need to have a longer career. Because even when you see him scramble now, he does keep his eyes downfield. Like if you watch 22 tape of Hurts, and I'm not trying to compare the player, but dude, if that dude saw an opening, like he hit that shit. He ran that ball. He didn't hesitate. He saw an opening. Boom. He was gone. Now he doesn't do that as much. I wonder if part of it is him trying to develop more as a pocket guy or as a thrower of the football and not rely on that as much, and develop the other parts of his game. I don't know. It's tough to say.
Okay. It's Becton. It's injuries. It's scheme. And it's Hurts not a threat any longer in the run game, and the inability and the passing game being so predictable is why your run game is so inept. They're not doing anything. They just get this. You think D coordinators are threatened by your passing game?
No. Why would they be?
Well, then why don't I just, like I said, you think they're threatened by Jalen running the ball anymore?
Well, I mean, he doesn't do it to that level anymore. I mean, I read you the stats last night. I think he had 27 yards rushing. So, again, low number for Jalen.
Okay. That means I only have to worry about one dude, and I don't trust your passing game because Jalen's not going to make throws. I mean, bro, that's why your offense right now, you've only lost one fucking guy, man. Here, Z, here, let me show you this here. We're going to do our top 10 teams and our top 10 quarterbacks here in a second here. So here's who you are right now, and I'm gonna make a point to you here. Your defense is 18th right now. Do I believe that? Fuck no. I think you're playing like a top 10 defense. I don't even really have to go down these numbers. Against the pass, you're 14th. Against the run, you're 19th. You're 10th in scoring, and you're 26th in third down. I don't think any of those numbers truly represent who you are. Now here's you on offense. I think these numbers totally represent who you are. I mean, and you have to explain to me, Xander, how you're here. You're 23rd in total offense. You're 25th in passing. You're 21st in rushing. And you're 27th in third down.
What are we in passing? 25th?
You're 25th.
And 21st in rushing. Whew.
And 27th in third down.
12th in scoring, which isn't bad because they've been so good in the red zone. Yeah.
How are you this bad? I mean, by the way, the defensive numbers don't represent how good you. I'd like to know how their numbers are in the last 5 games.
Let me look up what the defensive rankings are right now.
Here, I'll give them to you. Got them.
Total defense, Eagles are what?
18th.
18th. Got it.
14th in passing, 19th in rushing. They're 10th in scoring defense, 4th in red zone, and they're 26th in third down. I don't think any of those numbers represented all the improvement that you're making over the last month. You're playing right now like a top 10 defense. Those numbers are misleading. The offensive numbers are not misleading. That's who you are, man. And you got all your money over there. Why do you think fans don't want to put – like, John, John was hitting back on you last night on one thing that I completely disagree with. When you are talking NFL football, the business of fucking football has to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, right.
I mean, this is not college, because you know why in college, Xander, I could just pull a guy off the bench and put him in there because he's part of my 100 group that I have on my roster. And the pros, you have 53 active guys. The business of football, if you're paying those guys, you're playing those guys. Okay. Xander, why are they so bad?
Offensively?
Why are they underachieving?
Yeah, I mean, shit, if I had that answer.
Underachieving, right? You agree.
If I had that answer, maybe I would take John's advice and apply for Howie's job.
But wait a minute. Xander, why are they underachieving?
Kevin Patullo is a big part of it. I think Jalen Hurts, is not pushing the ball downfield. I think the risk-averse nature that they've taken on is, my question for John this morning was, do you think the risk-averse nature that they've taken on is going to end up costing them?
Yeah.
Because I get it. The explanation for the draw plays on 3rd and 12, they don't want to push the ball. They don't want to put the ball in harm's way. I get it. But, at some point, does that come and bite you in the ass? I think it could. Doesn't mean it will, but it could. So I think Kevin Patullo has been meh. I think Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's had that good of a year, man. I really don't. I mean, I know the numbers look good and people keep pointing to the interceptions and stuff, but, even last night, like, leave schematics aside and leave, like, overarching offensive problems aside. Jalen just, like, missed throws last night that he normally doesn't miss. I thought like that. Now, that's a one-off game. I don't think every week has been like that, but I do think he didn't have his best performance last night from that area. But, yeah, I don't know why they're underperforming, Sills. It almost feels like they have no desire to perform up the level. It almost feels like the standard has dropped to just, instead of trying to go and win a football game, it's like, don't lose the football game. You have all these assets on offense, and the approach is literally just don't lose it for us. Just don't lose it for us. Just don't turn it over. We're going to draw on 3rd and 12 if we're behind the sticks. Don't lose it for us.
The one thing that I think you struggled with a little bit last night was that John comment when on 3rd and 12s. Here's what he left out. You're right. Brady would go for 3rd and 12, and they would run a run play, and it would gain 5 yards, and Brady would play field position. But what did Brady have in New England for 20 years? He had a fucking lights out defense and the greatest coordinator of all time. He knew that they were going to get 3 and outs. He knew they were going to get 3 and outs. What's happened here now is that defense is getting better. Xander, they're going to run those plays because they're not going to want to put the ball up when it comes to putting the ball in harm's way. So 3rd and 12s, you're right. They're going to run the ball. They're not going to throw the ball.
I think was a factor last night that you and John both kind of dismissed in the pregame show. I don't think Jalen plays too great in that cold-ass weather, man.
Okay. Could be.
I mean, another game where he was just off his mark a little bit on some of those throws. I mean, he airmailed a couple over some receivers' heads, just inaccurate in some areas. He underthrew Devontae Smith on a couple balls. I think that was a factor for Jalen. And you look at the 2 playoff games last year when it was really cold, in Philly. Not the best games. Now, I know he had the big game versus Washington, but again, that was a game that your defense was lights out and Saquon Barkley got going early. I mean, the first play from scrimmage, for crying out loud, Saquon scored a touchdown in that game. So, you play a little bit differently when you get the lead that quick. I just wonder how much of a factor that had to do, especially coming from – it's one thing if it's been cold. It was like 50 degrees in Philly last week, dude. You go from 50 in Philly and you're freezing your baguettes off at Lambeau Field, at 20 degrees a couple days later. That might shock you a little bit for the first time of the year. So I think that was maybe a factor as well. But I don't know. I don't have the answer as to why the offense continuously underperforms. My problem with it is that it doesn't even feel like they want to get better anymore. It doesn't even feel like they want to be better on offense.
Explain to me why you have the best coaches on the staff on defense and you have the most limited coaches on the offense.
Yeah, we talked about this last night. They got a 5-star kitchen and they put a Burger King chef in, and they got the Burger King, and they put a 5-star kitchen, a 5-star chef in there. That's what they've done.
Is that
Makes
just
no
about,
sense.
is that just about control?
It makes zero sense. And I think Nick Sirianni should just acknowledge, like, you're not a coach developer, dude. Like, I know Kevin Patullo is your guy and everything, and you came up with him, but you're not a coach developer. You know, it didn't work. It's not working that well right now. He's not that good of a coordinator. He doesn't understand the moment. He doesn't have a great situational feel for football games. I think that's a big part of it as well. But it is weird. By the way, if you're the owner, like, this is my other problem with the coaching. It's like, if you're the owner and you pay Jalen Hurts the contract that they paid him, wouldn't your next order of business legitimately be get the best coach for that player? That's my second most important thing after paying the quarterback. And it doesn't feel like they did that. They didn't even do that with Kellen Moore. They didn't even do that with Kellen Moore. They brought in a quarterback
for a
Kellen
guy
Moore
that's
was,
so strategic and Howie. For them, and you said something, and I should have said something back to you on it. You go, Sills, remember, they went to February. They didn't really have a lot to pick from. You had no contingency plan knowing that if you were going to get that far. That doesn't sound like Howie. Howie's 5 years out in the future right now on your team. He's thinking all that shit out in the front right
that's
now.
his job. You know, he has a different job than the coaching staff. You know, he's
Yeah,
got
but he helps pick those guys.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying he has a different job. You want your GM looking at the future. They have to. The coach needs to win a game on Sunday. That's it. I don't need the coach thinking about the future. That's kind of my point on Campbell. Like, I know Campbell's got a good future. Let Howie worry about that. The coaches need to win a football game. The Kobe needs a better option. So I don't know, man. This is a weird team. It really is. But they keep winning, and I think there's a lot of positives to that. But I think they got to be better. I really do. I don't think this team is going to go back to the Super Bowl being this inconsistent week in and week out offensively. I mean, think about it. If we go into a playoff game, some people are going to say they're going to be perfect, and other people are going to be like, well, why isn't it going to be like half the season where they sucked? It's almost like what form of the Eagles do you get? You don't even know. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you're going to get on a given night. And that's a tough way, in my opinion, to go into a Super Bowl window and try and impose your will on teams in playoffs. I don't think it's a good setup. At least last year, with the offensive problems, we knew what we wanted to do and what we were attempting to do. I don't even think we know that yet. And I know they want to run the ball, but they got no proven track record of success in 25 of doing it. One game versus the Giants. That's it.
Guys, do me a favor. We're going to get to the supers here in a second because I want to ask Xander a couple more questions. I got two more here. Xander, do you have a problem with me calling Jalen Hurts a limited quarterback?
No, not at all.
Okay. Why do you think
I don't know why anybody would have a problem with that?
Yeah. Well, why do you think a lot of folks in Philly do?
Well, because everybody in Philly is protective of their guy, and I'm okay with that. I mean, some people are territorial. Some people, they don't want you to look. It's like the old Philly thing. I can criticize my guy, but nobody else can. You know what I mean? So I get it, but come on, look at the obvious. They got a $250 million offense, and they're bottom of the ranks in the passing. How are you going to sit here and tell me that he's not somewhat limited? I mean, come on, that's stupid talk. Doesn't even make sense. But there's no evidence. There's not even a single shred of evidence, though, that somebody could use on their side to dispute that claim.
I know. Again, but here, if the fans and know that he's limited, why don't the coaches hire people to those limitations? I said this and I asked you this a couple months ago. Don't you think they hire these coordinators more for Nick than they do for Hurts?
Maybe.
Because they're all passing coordinators. Hey,
I wonder if that shows you that maybe there's like an underlying because for those who have watched the Eagles longer than the 3-year window that Jalen Hurts has been here, where a lot of you bandwagon people probably have jumped on because they've won so many games, this owner and this organization, not even just the owner, is legitimately notorious for oohing and on and glazing and dreaming of having a high-powered passing offense. That is what they've always wanted. They even tried to trade your boy Jalen Hurts to get Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson 3 years ago. Okay? So that's what this organization wanted historically. Now, they've won games a lot. And sometimes winning cures a lot.
It does.
But if they did start to lose,
But it hides a lot too.
it hides a lot. But like my point is, if they keep hiring these passing coordinators, are they insinuating to us that we don't really want to embrace the way we're playing? We really want to get better at passing the football, but it's just not happening. I don't know. I'm wondering if there's some underlying themes there that you could probably pull from the coordinator hires that are deeper than just they hired a shitty guy. They hired passing guys. Kevin Petula was a passing game coordinator. He's been in the NFL. And here's the other problem. Again, I don't think Kevin Petula is doing a great job. Kevin Petula has been a coach in the National Football League for 16 years. 16 years. Like, the guy has been around football. 16 years. That's a long time to be in the NFL world, to have a job on coaching staffs in the NFL. They hired him. They hired Kellen Moore, who was responsible for the #1 passing offense in football for 3 seasons. I don't know. Is there an underlying message there of like, we don't want to embrace the other. We want to get better at this because this is what we want to be. I don't know. I'm just saying. Could be interesting to think about that way.
Here's what we're doing at 5:30. We're bringing on a guy who has brought teams to Super Bowls, and here's Mark Trestman, OC Minnesota Vikings, OC Cleveland Browns, OC San Francisco 49ers, OC Cardinals, OC Miami Dolphins.
Here, Mark just emailed me this. Can you look at the private chat?
I'm sorry?
Look at the private chat. Mark just emailed me that. Okay. I don't know what you want me to answer.
We're just going to talk about, coordinators, and we're going to talk about offensive passing approaches, stuff like that. Okay. Tell him nothing because he doesn't want to talk about it because he's a consultant for the Chargers.
Yeah. So he doesn't want to get too
really want to go into like criticizing any other players because he works for the Chargers. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you my top 10 teams. I'm going to give you a chance to get that off to him. And I'm going to give you my top 10 quarterbacks. Tell me when you're ready here.
I'm ready. I gotta revamp my list here. I have my list up here, but I got some changes, folks.
Here is my top 10 NFL teams. We do this every Tuesday. Then we're going to get to your supers. At number 10, I've got the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 9, I've got the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 8, I got the Buffalo Bills. Number 7, I've got the Indianapolis Colts. Number 6, I've got the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 5, I've got the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4, the Detroit Lions. Number 3, the Patriots. Number 2, the Denver Broncos. And number 1, the Los Angeles Rams.
I don't like Broncos at 2, dude. Come on.
9-2. Or they're
you don't think they're the second best football team in pro football?
Why they beat your Phillies? They beat your Eagles.
I can't buy that. I can't buy that. I'm sorry. I can't put the Broncos that high, dude.
Or would you put Broncos at 5 and Seattle's 2?
Let me rattle off mine here. I didn't write them all down, but I do have an idea of where I want to be. 1, I'm going Rams. I'm going to go Rams 1 right now. Do I keep Colts 2? I think that's way too high for them. I'll go Colts 2. I'll go Seahawks 3.
Okay.
Eagles 4.
Okay.
Patriots 5. Or no, Lions 5. Patriots 6. Broncos 7. Chiefs 8. Bills 9. And probably the Chargers. The Green Bay Packers have been bounced out of my top 10. I think they're fraudulent. I'm going to go
I
Chargers
like
at
your
10.
list more than mine. I like yours. I like
So I had Rams, Colts, Eagles, Patriots. No, Seahawks, then Patriots. Then I had Lions, Broncos, Chiefs. Who am I missing?
Buffalo.
Bills, and I don't know if I
Chargers?
changed that up. The first way I did it is the way I would do it.
Chargers?
Chargers 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Lions. No, I think I had Lions above Patriots.
Yeah.
The first time I read it, I had Lions above Patriots. Yeah.
I like your list. I like it. I like it. Here's my top 10 quarterbacks.
Wait, real quick though, why'd you have the Colts so low? Because I understand that they've had some flashy moments that maybe have questioned it, but if you look at like the build of that team, really good offensive line,
Okay.
really good running game,
Okay.
great coordinator, and a defense that's playing really good. Like they have the tools in the shed to like be good. You know what I mean? Is it Daniel Jones that's got you hold? Like where is it that you had? I think you had them at 7 or 8.
Yeah. I had them at 7.
Yeah, that's low, man.
Okay.
They're 8-2 too, aren't they?
Okay. Well, here. So they beat Miami. They beat Denver. They beat Tennessee. They lost to the Rams. They've beat the Raiders. They've beaten Arizona. They did beat the Chargers. Then they've beaten Tennessee. They lost to Pittsburgh, and they've beaten Atlanta. I mean, you think they're really structurally set up to be in a postseason, being a dome team?
Well, so you're saying you're looking at more of the body of work. That they haven't beat anybody.
I'm looking at their body of work.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I just think that the core elements of that team I like, and that's why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I like teams that have great offensive lines, good defensive lines, a good running game. That's how you win playoff football. And that's my concern about the Eagles. Like, think about it. I know people want to be super, and I'm not even trying to be like this contrarian pushing back on the Eagles. How do you win playoff football games? Right now, our offensive line is not the same, and our running game is not the same. Like when you get into January football, those are the things that allow you to win those games. We were able to do that last year, regardless of what the passing attack looked like. Right now, we haven't really seen any consistency from any of those areas. Now, the defense has been incredible. Agreed. But you almost need the defense to be superhuman, every week for this team to have it. So that's my issue with them. That's why I like the Colts.
I give the Colts a lot of credit for hiring Lou Anarumo, for him being brought over from the Bengals, because you got Shane running the offense and you got him running the defense with better talent. Look at how good he's done with that Colts defense. They're good, dude. I mean, that's a good defensive football team, and he's been a really good addition defensively for that team. So again, I'm more looking at the body of work.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Did you have Rams 1?
Yes.
Yeah. Stafford's the best quarterback in football right now. I mean, he's on a heater, dude.
He is, man.
Devontae Adams. The offensive line's playing really good. Their defensive line is nasty good. Their secondary's played really well this year. They got much better linebackers this year. I mean,
they're deeper.
That Rams team is good, man.
They're deeper too this year. Here's my top 10. I got Dak at 10. I got Hurts 9. I got Knicks 8. I got Golf 7. I got Mahomes 6. I got Allen 5. I got Jones 4. I got Darnold 3. I got Drake May 2. And I got Stafford 1.
I'm going Stafford 1 for sure. I think your list. I would put Darnold above May right now.
Darnold above Drake May.
That Seattle team, that's another team that has the makings. Like their defense has been playing lights out right now. They're able to run the ball. They got Jackson Smith and Jigba who's playing lights out. Sam Darnold. The question there is, does Darnold go pumpkin?
Yeah,
who knows?
That That game a year ago, dude, that they had, like, it still bugs me, those 2 games that he had, Those 2 games that he had a year ago where, he had a chance to win the division. He laid an egg. Then he got into the postseason and he laid another egg. And I'm like, okay, dude, I think get this, that NFC West, even though the 49ers, I don't believe it's who they are. Look at the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, bro. They got that's a pretty tough gauntlet of teams. And look at Seattle's resume. They've beaten Pittsburgh. They lost to Tampa, which is crazy. They've beaten a winning Jacksonville team, whatever you want to put in there. And they're beating these teams convincingly. Now, they did lose to San Francisco in the opener. Now, for the next stretch of games, check this out. They've got Los Angeles. They've got the Colts. They got LA again. I noticed one thing that the league did this year. These games that are like back-to-back, like you play in like Washington one week, then you play in Buffalo, then you play Washington. That's kind of how they're going to play the Rams. They're going to play a couple teams in there. And, so again, I think the league did some crazy shuffling around when it came to the schedule. Give me your list of quarterbacks.
Can you rattle off your list of quarterbacks?
Yeah, sure. Number 10, I got Dak. Number 9, I got Hurts. Number 8, I got Knicks. Number 7, I got Golf. Number 6, I got Mahomes. Number 5, I've got Allen. Number 4, I've got Daniel Jones. Number 3, I got Sam Darnold. Number 2, I got Drake May. And number 1, I got Matthew Stafford.
All right, I'm doing this on the fly. I'm going to go Stafford 1. Give me Darnold 2. Give me Drake May 3. Give me Mahomes 4.
Okay.
I know he's not playing that great, but he's still Pat Mahomes. Give me Danny Dimes at 5. Give me where'd you have Herbert?
I don't. I don't.
You don't have Herbert?
On my 10. I debated between Dak and Herbert for 10.
Is Nix at 6 too high? Where'd you have Bo Nix?
8.
That feels high. No, Nix at 6. I'll go Josh Allen 6. Probably go Josh Allen 5, but I'll put him at 6. I'm fine with him at 6. I'll go Jay Hurts at 7. I'll go Dak at 8. I'll go Goff at 9.
Did you put Darnold anywhere?
Darnold was 2.
2, okay. 2.
I'll go Goff 9 and Nix 10. Left off Herbert, left off Jordan Love, left off Baker Mayfield.
And Lamar.
I got to see a couple more games from Lamar,
too.
But he'll shoot up the list.
Yes, he will, because they're gonna win that North. Xander, they're gonna win the North. Okay? They're gonna win that North division, in my opinion. All right, you want to read some of these supers?
Yeah, let's do it. Where did I have Hurts? I had Hurts 7. I think that's fine. Guys, Hurts is not playing like a top 5 quarterback right now. Why do people have such a hard time? Like, dude, we're a good team. We're winning a lot of games, but like, you don't need to over justify your take by saying Jalen Hurts is playing top 5 quarterback. He's not, guys. He's kind of lucky I put him at 7. I could have easily dropped him down a couple pegs.
Yeah, I got him at 9. I mean,
yeah, I think that's fine. 9.
Listen, I'm you can't dismiss the 7-2 record. So it's why he's in there. But for me, I mean, bro, will you not agree? He probably played 2 really good football games this year.
If that.
He had
2 is good. Maybe 2.5.
Okay.
Here's Corey. I prayed for years to have these types of wide receivers. Now we have them and take them for granted. Do we take them why do we take them for granted? Hurts has great leadership and competes, but I'd rather keep AJ and trade for a passer. 3 first and Hurts for Burrow.
Oh my God. No, I'll take Hurts.
Would you do that deal right now?
No, I wouldn't, because I can't trust Burrow's health.
Well, you can't trust Burrow's health when he's playing behind Cincinnati's offensive line.
Oof, so true. Like, do you bring him back with that shitty O-line? I know they opened up his 21-day window. Do you bring him back when you got very, like, limited shot at making the – now, then again, the AFC North is terrible. Okay? Dude, are you kidding me? There's a guy – look at original Philly. Burrow's ass. Bro, he's the best passing quarterback in pro football. He's so fucking dumb. And you're sitting there glazing Hurts. Hurts is a
Maverick
water
is mad
boy.
because we don't have Hurts top 5. Maverick, you honestly believe that Jalen Hurts is playing like a top 5 quarterback
You
right
bet
now?
he does.
Seriously, dude?
Yeah.
Seriously, Maverick? That's the hill you're going to die on?
You bet he does.
Oh, come on, brother.
Then again,
Don't be a little objective. Don't you want to
how
have
about
any
this? Wait a
desire to
minute.
be somewhat objective in life?
Wait, then again, you struggle with not understanding why fucking this offense is in third and fucking because you look at the talent. And last night, you can't, bro, you should have seen Xander go like this. Fuck you, Sileo. Fuck you. This thing should be fucking number one. Are you? He's not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not. And it's not about expecting it. It's what it is. Isn't that a shitty analysis? It is. It's what it is.
Analysis.
I fucking hate that.
I can't take someone seriously that says Joe Burrow is not a good quarterback. I'm sorry. I just can't take you seriously. I mean,
I know,
maybe
man.
Joe Burrow is not a good quarterback. The dude's he's probably one of the best pure quarterbacks in the game right now outside of Matthew Stafford.
Hey, so many people in here with their comments.
Quarterbacking in football.
Hey, some of the comments on the quarterbacks in here, I really do. I fucking really question whether or not you really watched the game. I mean,
Here's Paul. What's up, Paul? Still, super random question. I was talking about the 2000 Ravens with a friend today and was wondering if you had a relationship with Tony Siragusa, 2 Northeast Paisan defensive tackles. Great question.
I got a question. Okay, I'll give you a small story. So, Greg Schiano's the head football coach of Rutgers, right? And Greg Schiano coached at Miami. Bro, I think I told some of you guys this story. I found out that he knew David Chase. And David Chase is the guy who made The Sopranos. And Tony Siragusa was friends with James Gandolfini. And so I go like this to Schiano. Schiano and James Gandolfini. Xander, I've had James Gandolfini on my show.
I know, man. I wish he didn't pass because that's one of my – I'm not a huge TV guy. That's one of my favorite characters of all time.
So wait, get this. He used to do Rutgers commercials. And so he goes like this. I go, listen, you got Tony Siragusa paid a mob guy, and he got knocked off. And I go like this, Greg, I'll fucking do that too. You can kill me, put 2 bullets in the back of my head. I don't care. And he goes like this, all right, if there's another season, sure enough, I auditioned for it. There wasn't another season or I was going to be on The Sopranos.
Wow, that would have been sick.
Because of Greg Schiano.
You would have been great on that show.
Oh, my God, I wanted. Oh, my God, I even auditioned. I had it. They loved me. I met him.
All right, you want to this is a tough question. You ready to answer it?
Yeah.
Underdog says, how is Hurts top 10 when our passing offense never cracks the top 20? Please help me out. I'm talking, not you dummies. I'm talking to the host. It's a fair question, no?
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're looking at the completion percentage. And remember that thing you did to me yesterday?
I think it's really just winning is what's boosting Hurts for me.
Yeah, but wait, you know that thing that you said when you said that why are the Eagles so good in the red zone? And you went like this, Sills. Look at the limited attempts that they've been down there versus other teams like Seattle that have been down there multiple times. I think they're really efficient. I do. They throw the ball effectively and efficiently. They don't turn it over. That's why he's always going to have a high quarterback rating. They throw those 5-yard hitch passes and those go patterns. They count on the yak yards a lot. They don't really play high percentage football. That punt that Jalen threw last night, I mean, bro, I think it was a fair catch like in Yankee Stadium. I mean, fuck.
I said that last night. People weren't happy with that comment last night.
Well, it was, man. So underdog, yeah, no, it's more that there's not high volume. They're very effective. He throws those 5-yard passes.
Look, all the people I love underdog because he fires people up because he speaks his mind. And look, this is the response. This is Philadelphia. Killa, I don't know if you think this is like a good way to dispute somebody you disagree with. Underdog got some corny ass takes with a bunch of emotion. Underdog Killa, if you're gonna say the man has bad takes, then fucking prove why the take is not good.
Correct.
Don't
Have
call
some
him
backup
corny.
to that.
That means you lost. If you just start calling them names and bullshit, that's not a good way to debate or win an argument or prove people why you're right or somebody else is wrong.
It's an infant's answer.
Yeah, I mean, come on, underdog or Philadelphia, you're better than that.
You know why?
You're better than that.
You know why he's an asshole? Because.
Yeah, right. Because he was mean to my quarterback.
Yeah. Because, hey, you see that what my guy just did right now, too. Coach Brown I said that, hey, Jalen Hurts. Wait, I'll ask you.
Wait, is there any shorts I got to get? Because remember, yesterday was game day, so I was so busy. I didn't even get to all that content. That's why I hate when we have great guests on before a game.
When I asked him about Jalen Hurts and do you think the Eagles win in spite of him?
Yeah, a follow up on that.
Because he answered that. Do you think they win in spite of him?
Sometimes. Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes. Wow,
yeah.
Xander,
I don't think all the time. Like Cowboys week 1, no. But like, there are times where he doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, and that's okay. We have a great team. We had a great running game. I mean, look at the Packers playoff game last year. Because there's one thing that like I always like to just try and give all the context. Like I'm fine if somebody thinks differently than me, but like people always say this about Jalen, and I appreciate it because I agree with it to much extent. I've seen him play well in 2 Super Bowls. He's a gamer. He plays big in big moments.
He does.
But isn't a playoff game a big moment?
You bet.
Yeah. If you don't win, you go home. Like the year before last year, he played like dog shit in the playoffs. Isn't that not a big moment? In the first 2 games of the playoffs last year versus the Packers and the Rams, he didn't really play that good. Like, I know we won the game, but Jalen didn't really play that good. He hit like 90 passing yards versus the Rams in that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's had big gamer moments for sure. But to sit here and say anytime there's a big game, Jalen shows up is objectively false. It's not true.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not true. I think for the most, he has had moments that I think he deserves a lot of credit for. But there are also moments where you're like, like that Rams playoff game is a perfect example of probably one in spite of him. He had 225 yards from Saquon Barkley, 2 touchdowns. Defense made some plays in that game. That's probably one example.
You're doing Xander.
How about the Packer playoff game last year?
Xander, I think you, out of like 99% of the people that are covering this team, you're one of the very few people that have the passion for the team and say the truth. Let me ask you this here. A.J. Brown, Barkley, or Hurts, who are you more disappointed in so far after 9 games?
A.J. Brown, Barkley, or Hurts? Disappointed is not the right word for any of them.
How about
I'm
underachieving?
not disappointed in any of them. I'm underwhelmed by the output that those 3 players as the core of the offensive skill players have been able to put out. We have those guys on our football team. Those are the guys that wear eagle green. And we put out a 24th, 25th ranked offense. Like, I don't get it. Again, I'm fine with people who just want to win and they're like, I don't care about that. Okay, that's cool. You can have that approach. But objectively speaking, offensively, it is a little bit of a letdown when you have those guys and this is the output that you put out. And I would say it's a lot of a letdown, not a little bit of a letdown. But I wouldn't say I'm frustrated with them. I would just say I'm underwhelmed.
I would say A.J. Brown for me.
Yeah, but I don't think it's A.J. Brown's fault, bro. A.J. Brown doesn't get the ball.
You think they're phasing him out of the offense?
It almost feels like that, doesn't it?
Oh, that's a great tweet. They're phasing him out of the offense because they're going to move him in the offseason and they're going to draft a wideout.
Wait, Anthony wants to ask a good question. Anthony says, I got a question, and I love Anthony. Anthony's always been a great
Anthony's good. He is good.
He says, I'm not saying he's a prolific passer, but this guy is at the helm of the most winning time in franchise history. What are we doing here? Well, Anthony, do you believe that he's the reason that it's the most winning time? Or do you believe that the roster assembled by Howie, what's a bigger reason for the most winning time? Is it the roster that Howie has assembled in the last 4 years? or is it Jalen Hurts? What's a bigger reason? Because I know college isn't the same, but like I've watched Jake Coker win a national, again, not the same, it's college, but to act like a quarterback can't be on a great football team and win a lot of games and not be the sole reason, I think is a little bit naive. I mean, you can have a great team around a solid quarterback, and the quarterback is not the reason for winning.
Okay. Let me ask you this. If you were Clark Hunt, the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, who could you live without, Andy Reid or Mahomes?
Ooh, that's a good question. Who could you live without, Reid or Mahomes? I don't think Mahomes would be Mahomes without Reid, and I don't think Reid would have had the success without Mahomes.
Okay, that's a great answer.
Yeah, that's just what I think.
Who do you think Jeffrey Lurie could live without? Jalen Hurts or Howie Roseman?
Yeah, that's an easy answer.
Okay, I think that what you went through Kansas City, it's a debate. Ain't no debate. Philly. And he proved it last night by putting Phillips on the field. All of a sudden, like this, magically, you look like the 24 defense again. That wasn't just Vic. That was fucking Howie. That was Howie Roseman and Vic working together. Had nothing to do with Nick Sirianni either. Had nothing to do with it. Who could you live without?
Let me see if Anthony followed up. Anthony says Howie has been here 20 years and has never won at this clip. But how, Anthony, he hasn't had the same level of success or the same team building philosophy or the same draft success. I mean, come on.
Different general manager after the broom closet, though, and the Jalen Rager deal.
I mean, Anthony, you say that like this year, like this roster that he's assembled isn't better than the rosters he's assembled 15 years ago. Come on, dude.
Hey, Anthony, it's starting to look like the roster that he has of talent is better than the 22 roster this year.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, yeah, 22, we had Queasy Watkins and
you didn't have Vic.
Didn't have Vic. Boy, we would have won that Super Bowl if we
You bet you would have won that Super Bowl. You bet you would have won that. You're not giving up those dude, he owns Mahomes and Andy Reid. You're not losing that Super Bowl. You got a training wheel DC then too, Jonathan Gannon. So I mean, yeah. How about this one? Who could you live without? Sean McDermott or Josh Allen in Buffalo? If you're the owner, Pagula.
So I've learned that that Sean McDermott's father is an avid listener of Birds 365.
Fantastic.
So I will now no longer criticize my boy Sean McDermott. All
right? That is great. Oh my God.
His father loves Birds 365.
I'm like, he must live in Philly.
Yeah, he grew up. Sean McDermott went to LaSalle.
I know he was Andy Reid's coaching staff. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
So Sean McDermott is a fan. I'm gonna have to break my. All right, we got more supers. We'll get to them here. Paul says one of my buddies played for Shiano at Ramapo High School back in the day. By the way, in New Jersey. Look at that,
dude. I get this. James Gandolfini came in when I was doing my audition. I was all duped up in this stuff. David Chase was the guy who created it. You know the guy on East Street Band was there too. And it was a lot of fun, man. We had a lot of gabagool. We had a lot of sandwiches. Everyone had a bunch of fun. I was so close to getting on that thing, man.
There you go. All right, here we go. Khaled says, how much you think Lurie could deal with this horseshit offense? If they keep winning, they got to keep winning. That's it.
You think he had a meeting today?
No. I'll get to it, Zeal. Don't worry, brother. I'm going to them all.
Huh.
I don't think he had a meeting. They won.
10-7.
He didn't look too. Do you see when they panned to him in the box?
He didn't look too happy.
Oh, he didn't look too happy.
Him and his girl sitting over there going like,
hey, he didn't look too happy. Here's catch. Read this, Sills.
I will. I love Jalen Hurts.
Clip it, Vince.
Hey, that's really good, Catch. Good stuff.
Catch, thank you for the support, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that's funny.
Here's Real Zeal. Zeal, thank you, my guy. Appreciate it. $10 super chat. All the $10 there. Appreciate it. The issue isn't the third and long draws. It's that they are always in third and long. Great point. Zeal's got a lot of great points. Too many penalties. They're one of the most penalized teams in the league. Zeal, well done. Those are all great context.
Bro, you're
problem.
dead on. A year ago, you were not in third and longs. This year, you are in third and longs a lot. And that's why
because of the run game, right? I mean, we live in third and long because
you're not winning first and second down. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's why the complexion of this team is so much different than last year. It really is. Hey,
I'm going to give you a compliment here. I think your knowledge of the game is really, since you started going on air, I think you improved every single month. That you really got a good sense of the game here, man. I don't think everybody.
Well, you know what? I honestly,
you're really working at it too. But you could tell you're working at it.
I attribute a lot of that to you and to John and to the work. I mean, I do it a lot, and when I'm off the air, I dive into as much as I possibly can. I do want to
learn. Listening to the people that come on the network and talking.
Oh, absolutely. Your guests have always educated me.
We got a guy coming up at 5:30 that's going to educate everybody too.
Yeah. Here's Steve-O Speaks. What's up, Steve-O? Appreciate you, my man. Look at that. What is that? A big stogie in the profile picture? Gotta love it. Gotta love a stogie. He says Hurts is better in a tempo, quick throw, zone read option, misdirection type quarterback. He needs to be in that type of situation to thrive. Yeah, he's not a progression reader.
But I do like the fact that he's right on when he goes quick tempo. I do think that offense looks better. They did none of that last night. They didn't go any quick tempo last. It was so vanilla, dude. I mean, it was like a preseason game, wasn't it? Like they were so fucking vanilla that they didn't really attempt anything. You know what? Do you agree? Do you think sometimes the philosophy is waiting for the other teams to make mistakes because they know how good they are?
What it is. They don't. Their whole goal with this $250 million offense is just don't lose the game for us. Think about how crazy that is.
We're going to wait for you to make a mistake.
Think about how crazy that is, though.
Totally crazy.
Like, I'm not going to be the aggressor in life. I'm just going to
wait for you to fuck up.
Don't make any mistakes. Like, why? That's where I don't get. Like, that's what pisses me off about the offense, because it's like, all right, if that's the approach and it's working, fine. Why are we paying all these guys? Does it make sense?
It doesn't.
What?
The only way it makes sense is in the win-loss column. It's the only way it makes sense.
Well, what's a bigger reason for the win-loss column? The defense or the offense?
Oh, the defense.
Pay the defense.
Hey, you want to hear a rumor coming out today?
Remember, Sills. This is a team that let Milton Williams go, that let Gardner Johnson go, that let Isaiah Rodgers go, that let these guys go because contracts, because we're paying the offense. Yet we don't ask the offense to go win games for us. Doesn't make sense.
You want to hear a quick rumor that I just got? Belichick and John Mara talking.
Oh, really? I could so see that. I wouldn't like that, honestly.
Belichick has always coveted that job, and he said he'd walk to New Jersey to get that job.
He started there, didn't he?
Yep. Well, he started in Baltimore with Ted Martin in New York. Then he went to Denver. Then he went to the Giants. Ray Perkins hired him. He was the linebacker coach. Then when Parcells got elevated to the head coaching job, he became the linebacker coach. Then he became the defensive coordinator under Parcells in New York. But he was supposed to get that job. He always felt that Parcells fucked him. And get this. So they thought.
That when they hired Coughlin?
No. What happened was Parcells didn't resign then. He took the Cleveland job, and then he had Ray Handley. Ray Handley got that job. Some fucking nobody got that job. And get this, Parcells is involved in this rumor. You know how? Joe Schoen. You know why he's still there? Parcells is backing Joe Schoen to get Belichick to New York. And that's why John Mara, who's dying of cancer, by the way, doesn't want to make a move at the GM spot. That's just a little insight of what's being talked about behind the scenes in New York. Because get this, Schoen was put in power in Miami by Parcells. That's where he came from. He went down there, then up to New York.
That's right. He was in Buffalo too, Schoen, wasn't he?
Yep. Went up to Buffalo.
Kimberly says Beckham was the insurance policy on Barkley. We couldn't pay him $10 million a year to protect that investment, really? How about the investment on the coaching staff that fits the quarterback? I mean,
yeah,
you
no
spend,
doubt,
speaking of
man.
investments,
No. What you know what? That not hiring of Cliff Kingsbury kind of comes back to make me thinking. Kingsbury's dealt with that style of quarterback. You really didn't want to go and make a move. I found out that whole thing about the offensive line coach Stoutland was bullshit. He never said he wanted to replace Stoutland. So it was kind of like made up bullshit in Philly that why didn't you hire Kingsbury? Did you just not want to lose like control of the offense under Nick?
Maybe.
I think that's what more it is.
Yeah, maybe. Here's some black. What's up, brother? Sills, Jalen needs Reich badly next year to upgrade.
Frank Wright is done November 29th. I don't know how the transition's going to go on who they're going to name as head coach of Stanford. I think that he's going to have a small say in like the direction along with Andrew Luck. But what I'm understanding, by the time the playoffs start, Xander, I wouldn't be shocked if Frank Wright is part of the as a consultant, like we're going to talk with Mark Trestman, like somebody like that, but with more say in the offense, especially if Patullo's shitting the bed. I mean, who do you think Nick Sirianni's going to listen to more? If you're in a playoff and you're in a tough situation, Frank Reich, who's won a Super Bowl for you and in that organization, or are you going to listen to Kevin Patullo who doesn't really know what the hell he's doing? I don't know, man. I mean,
I ain't listening to Kevin Patullo.
Kevin Patullo's a traffic cop, in my opinion, man.
I don't want that dude telling me how to pump my gas. Fucking
right. He's a traffic cop.
Corporate Pumper says, y'all got it wrong. Hurts is supposed to take the delay game and then punt. That's why the camera panned to Nick and he said WTF, Hurts and AJ blow. I got to rewatch that, Pump. I didn't see that. I'll have to look.
Yeah. I got it too. I think there's a
lot of before. I think the Seahawks game a couple years ago.
Yeah, listen, Pump. I think there's a lot of Bob Lane going on right now to try to cover for Nick in that play. I think that's a Nick Sirianni deal.
Here's Khaled. Even with winning, why is Lurie settling with this? Because they're winning. That's why.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bro, if they were just winning like Andy, I don't think he'd be sitting around. But they're winning the Super Bowl. And you're going to the Super Bowl. Dude, you've never had a coach go to 2 Super Bowls in your entire history. You've never had one. I mean, hey, but dude, don't you agree? Come on, Nick. I don't know. I don't know who benefits more from Howie, Jalen or Nick.
Yeah, it's so true.
I don't.
So let me get this straight. Sirianni wanted to take the delay game, but AJ and Hurts went rogue again. Yeah, I take my slander of Nick back. Bums.
Come on, Pump. I think they're dying on the sword for the
Here's
guy.
Steve-O. Steve-O says, I believe the coordinator's hands are tied because of Hurts' quarterback limitations.
Okay, there's some truth to this. Sure.
I think there might be more truth to that than people would be willing to accept.
Yeah. Wait, what would you listen? What would you want Kevin Patullo to call for Jalen Hurts? Deep passes? What would you want him to call? He's limited at throwing across the middle of the field. He's just learning how to set fucking protections. Come on, man.
Here's Des the Hebrew. He says, I have to disagree, Sills. The offense is balanced. Shitty passing game and a shitty running game.
I am so happy Des.
Everything is bad.
I love the fact that Des the Jew's back. I love him, man. He's my favorite.
Great. He's been here a while, man. Jersey Dude becomes a member. Thank you, Jersey Dude.
Very good, my friend. Yes.
All right, we got a couple more, man. Supers are flying off the shelves today. Thank you,
everybody.
Love it.
Very good.
Roll Philly says, Z, why is Sileo asking about coaches and quarterbacks for the other team, but GM and Hurts? It should be Nick and Hurts. You missed the point, Roll Philly. And Kansas City, Andy Reid is far more important than Brett Veach. In Philadelphia, Howie Roseman is far more important than Nick Sirianni.
Okay, right. Okay.
He's saying because you asked me Mahomes or Reid, and then when you asked me about Hurts, you asked me Hurts and Howie instead of Hurts and Nick.
Okay. That's an easy one too. Hurts over Nick. I wouldn't even think 10 seconds about that. Bye, Nick. I wouldn't think 10 seconds. Hey, if there's one guy in Philadelphia that has a job,
I'm actually surprised you said that. You'll take Hurts over Nick?
oh fuck yeah!
Remember, Nick was a part of a really good offense in
Take the
Indianapolis.
player. Bro, I'm taking the player. The player's winning in spite of Nick.
Here's Paul. Paul says, how much do you think the play calling is affected because of Hurts' inability to throw receivers open, and how much of that is due to his size to see over the lineman and the fear of losing the turnover battle? It's all
of it, part of it.
Everything you just said, Paul, is a part of it.
That's right. So that means you got to get coaching in there that knows how to coach that shit instead of guys who can help Nick. They hire dudes to help Nick. They don't hire dudes to help Jalen. Xander keeps going back to 2022, rightfully so. Why? Well, that's the best coaching he's had. The rest of the shit's been all coaches for Nick. We hired from a guy, and then get this, what I don't like about Nick and how it goes. So Nick wants to elevate these guys, but then doesn't stand up for Brian Johnson. Okay.
I will say there was one throw yesterday where Hurts underthrew Devontae on the right hash, and it looked like Hurts was like tippy-toeing to try and see over the lineman.
Then back up more.
Well, that's one of his problems, too. He backs up so fucking far. All right, here's Mikey Shreds. Mikey says, the question I have is why run up the middle?
Hey, you know what Frank Wright said about Hurts to me? What? I shouldn't really go crazy here with it, but I'll say a little bit until we get him back on again. He says his feet are all screwed up.
Footwork.
Says, I mean, he's like resorting back to like first, second year things a little bit.
Well, Jalen has never been super comfy in the pocket. He's not a pocket awareness guy.
But that means he's got to work more at his feet, and you've got to work more at the details.
Shred says, the question I have is why run up the middle on first and second when the first 5 attempts went for no substantial yards? Are these guys nuts? Seriously?
They don't fear the passing game. And now, bro, there's got to be something wrong with Barkley. I ask it every week. So do you think he looks like New York Giants Does he look like New York Giants Barkley right now?
He does a little.
Oh, my God. New York Giants Barkley right now.
Here's Freddie. Atlanta really going to give the Rams a top 10 pick? What do you mean? Do the Rams have Atlanta's top? Wait a second. No.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They traded it for Michael Penix, didn't they?
Oh, that's right. Holy shit. They're going to get that guy, Reuben Bain.
They got the Falcons pick from the 2025 trade.
Oh, you know who they're going to get? They're going to get that Miami offensive lineman, Francis McGowan.
The Rams are going to have a top 10 pick.
How he sees that, he knows that.
Freddie, what the fuck, Freddie?
Boy, good pull, Freddie. Good pull, Freddie. Good pull.
Ramir says, I feel like they want to see if Smith can take over.
What's that mean?
If Smith can be wide receiver 1.
Oh,
so they feel better about maybe moving on from AJ.
I'll tell you what I'm doing in the draft. If this kid,
we can't take him wide out, bro.
Wait, whoa.
No.
If Jalen Phillips turns out to be a guy who you want to give $25 million to, $30 million to, he turns out to be that guy, you wouldn't go in the draft at number 32? At number 32 and try to move up maybe or not, or sitting there and pick a wideout at 30.
Wait, who did you say? What wideout?
Okay, so
what wideout did you say?
I didn't say any wideout.
Okay.
Yet.
I thought you said
one of the deepest. I
don't really like him that much.
It's one of the deepest groups of wideouts this year coming into the NFL draft.
That's going to keep happening too.
Yeah, right. No question. So why wouldn't you want to get cheaper, move Brown after June 1 when it's only $14 million on a cap?
Yeah, they might. They probably, that's probably what they will do, to be honest. And who's been a letdown is Ryan. Well, I don't think Ryan Williams is that great.
Okay. The what?
the Bama kid, Ryan Williams,
Okay.
fingernail polish guy.
Yeah, no.
Supposed to be real good. Shies away from contact constantly. Always worried about getting hit. Drops balls because he's worried about getting hit constantly. I mean, he was supposed to be really good. I don't think he's lived up to it quite. Theodore says, is Fangio teaching Hurts to beat zone? No, I don't think Fangio even looks at the offense or gives a shit.
I bet you Hurts ask questions to him, though. I bet you he'll like, why wouldn't you do this? If I'm going to take on the Detroit defense this weekend, and they play kind of a too high safety, if I was Jalen, why wouldn't I ask Vic, what do you think they're going to try to do to me? How does that mean? If Bill Belichick was in your room and he was coaching the defense and you were with Josh McDaniels and Josh is doing all that, would you not ask if you were a quarterback, Drake May, hey, coach, what do you think they're going to try to do? Just to get some intel? Well, you wouldn't ask a question? I would. I would ask a question. If that's skilled of a coach, I'd constantly.
I would ask the question. I just don't think Fangio is like taking time.
No. He's not going, hey, Jalen, come here. There's Jalen's got to ask him for that. I think there's some of that.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Does it look like Fangio's teaching Hurts how to beat zone?
No. No, it looks like
what happens this year is right.
He's asking a guy at Wawa how to fucking beat zone coverages.
Regardless of what happens this year, is right the next offensive coordinator.
I don't think he wants that job. He said it on his program. He doesn't want that job. He made it clear to them before they hired Kevin Patullo. They offered it to him. He said it here. He goes, I don't want to do that. And so
see, sometimes Senor is money. What's the trade value of a highly paid wide receiver 2 getting 700 yards in the offseason?
That's Jalen Reagor.
3rd round pick, a 4th round pick? I don't
more like a 7th round pick. Oh my God. I can't believe Jalen.
Catch says, do your top 10 quarterback list again with salary, then sort by salary and read the order. Oh God, I can't do that right now, but
yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Stafford's up there. Darnold is making what? What did Darnold get?
I think he got 20. I think he got
20?
No, he got like 10. He got like 10.
No way.
Yeah, Darnold got like 10 million.
Off of 14 wins last year?
Yeah. Dude, they cut him.
Yeah, 3 years, 100 mil. He got 55
mil. Oh, he got 30?
Yeah, he got 30.
30?
33 and a half.
Yeah, you're right. Baker's making 30.
Yeah, those are two value contracts.
Drake May's on a rookie contract.
All right, here we go. Couple more.
Hey, do me a favor. Look one more up. What did Daniel Jones get in Indy? I'd like to know.
I think he's the one who got 10. 1 year, 14 mil.
Okay. What a steal. Holy shit. Right?
Kyle says, this is just a preview for the draft. Don't be surprised if it's a safety or the interior guy from Penn State.
They're not going to take a safety with one. They're not taking a safety.
A safety in the 1st round, Kyle?
No way. They trade out.
Taking it off. I guarantee it. Book it. They're taking an offensive lineman in round 1. Book it.
Would they wouldn't take a corner too?
I don't think so. They got to just spend 2.
Well, you've traded for fucking every corner in the fucking league, just about. I mean, right? I mean, how many more corners are you going to trade?
How much more capital can we spend on fucking corners, man?
Right.
Yeah, Lane. You got Juergens. You got Dickerson's health. D-line, Twiz, how many more fucking D-line can we take with the 1st round? Nolan, Jordan, Jalen. Come on, dude. How many more off defensive linemen? They've taken 3, and they just traded for a 1st round pick in Jalen Phillips.
Let me see something here. What's the 5th-year option on Nolan Smith?
It's going to be like 14 mil because he's not an all-pro or a pro bowl. He doesn't even meet the snap thresholds.
Nolan Smith. See that.
We have 4 edges that are free agents. Who? You can't be talking about Azeez Ojulari and Joshua Uche, can you?
Hey, you were right on Uche.
I know I was.
You got that right.
Watson says, "What do we think we got?" I think they should pay Goddard, but
How about this, Nolan Smith? Yeah, it's about $11 million.
look at Dimebag. Dimebag must have just smoked a dime bag because he's in his creative bag here. Eagles got more corners than a Rubik's Cube, yet we still got more holes than a golf course.
Oh man, look, hey, hey, you better take that hookah, man.
I'm getting delirious up here, man. I got to get the fuck out of here.
No shit, you do, man. We got one more here, I think.
Oh, God.
It's our boy Deds the Joe.
Last year we said Howie would never take a linebacker first round. No, I'm saying strictly off need, not because they wouldn't do it.
Okay. Big Seals, your love for the Pats and the Colts. Who did they play? Dude, let me say something to you. I love the Pats. I told you, by the way, that was one of my predictions at the
I don't like this whole thing of like they played nobody because we lost to a nobody.
Yeah,
so like, you play who's in front of you in the NFL, and every week is always good competition. So
hey, Gino, you got beat by the shitty Giants who just fired their coach. Congratulations.
Please get me off this show.
How much sleep have you gotten?
I got 2 hours 50, my whoop said last night.
2 hours 50.
Let me look. 310 it says.
310. Look at it. I got it. 310. Come on, Big Z. All right, dude. Let me get you out of here.
What happened to my camera, though? There we go. All right, brother. Good stuff.
Hey, congratulations to you, man. You know what's really hard for you right now? You fucking
what? You and John teaming up on me like a bunch of bitches?
Hey, wait.
I think you're a buttercup to John. I think you don't want to disagree with John.
I couldn't disagree last night.
I think you're a buttercup. I think you went buttercup.
Well, because what I said, your offense is fucking.
I think you went buttercup last night.
On what?
Aunt Betty, did he go buttercup? If you tell me no, then I'll believe you. But Aunt Betty, you've watched more Big Sills than anyone. Is he going buttercup, Aunt Betty?
I did not.
Is he going buttercup on me?
For the post game show.
Dude,
she watches. By the way, she watches your pop on that green.
Oh, the green sounds fire, dude.
Dude, you guys kicked ass on it, right?
I need that before I leave. I need Aunt Betty to tell me if Sileo is going buttercup.
She better answer correctly because if she doesn't,
no, don't placate to him.
And
buttercup Sills, look at it. Way. Bring them in. Make the comments. Buttercup Sills. Come on, Aunt Betty. Don't let me down, Aunt Betty. Come on, Aunt Betty.
I did not, man. I think you're all.
I want to see what Aunt Betty has to say.
Hey, I get no way. She ain't gonna answer.
Bro, she's thinking. She's like, "How do I get out of this? How do I say this properly?"
You can answer it, Betty. Go ahead. Yeah, let's see what she says. By the way, we're going to talk to Mark Tressman in a couple minutes.
I think we got all the super chats.
Good.
We got a lot of supers today. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, folks. That was good. I think she's not answering.
She's not. She doesn't want to. I can't blame her. She doesn't want. She said never. That's real Italian loyalty right there. That is Italian loyalty right there.
Absolutely.
I respect the game, Aunt Betty.
Absolutely.
But I know deep down, Aunt Betty, you know this dude is going buttercup.
Oh, man.
This dude doesn't want to stir up Johnny Mac.
Hey, no, that's not. Dude, you did enough of that last night.
Yeah, I know I did. Why do you. What? Wait, Xander, you're spoiled for wanting more than the 29th ranked offense in football. You're spoiled. Fuck, what are you talking about?
He got so mad.
Offense is certified ass cheeks, man.
Wait, hey, Xander got so mad at Johnny, he told me to go fuck off. I was like, what?
I was fired up on the post game.
I know you were, man. I know.
All right, I'm out of here, dude.
Okay, hey, short work week, man. I mean, that's a
I'm ready to rock, man. That's a big game on Sunday night.
Big game.
In Philly.
Right. In Philly, bro. I'll see you, man. Bird 365 in the morning. Love you, brother.
Later, dude. Love.
You got it, man. That is Big Z. Let's pay some bills here. Let's see here. Hey, by the way, our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason, and that is this. because they defend families like yours coast to coast each and every single year and every single day. And they don't get paid unless you win, whether you're hurt at work, you're hurt on the job. Morgan & Morgan has been around for 25 plus years defending you. And this is what they've done for all these years. I promise you, this will be the easiest decision you've ever made. Check them out at forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFC selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sales National Football Show. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. We are going to talk with one of the greatest minds when it comes to developing of quarterbacks that I know, and that is Mark Trestman. As a matter of fact, Mark is a consultant right now for the Los Angeles Chargers. And he's also teaching law at the University of Miami. I've known him a long time. He was one of the coaches on my Buccaneer coaching staff. And he was also a coach on the University of Miami's first national championship team. So here's a guy that's coached many people to Super Bowls. He understands quarterbacks. Jim Harbaugh hired him. He's a former head football coach also in the National Football League with the Chicago Bears. And so when you're talking about a guy that, let me give you his rundown here. And I know right now, he sent me a text last night. He's teaching pre-law at UM. He was a quarterback coach at the University of Miami. He was a running back coach with the Vikings. Then he became a quarterback coach in 87 when I was there. Cleveland Browns, he was the OC and quarterbacks coach for Bernie Kosar. Minnesota Vikings from 90 to 91, he was the quarterback coach. Then he was the OC of the 49ers with Steve Young and the quarterback coach in San Francisco. In Detroit, he was there as the quarterback coach. Then he was the OC in Arizona, I believe with Kurt Warner. He was also the quarterback and offensive coordinator for Rich Gannon, who won the MVP. He was the Miami Dolphins assistant head coach under Dave Wannstedt. Then he was the head coach of the Montreal Alouettes. He ended up winning a couple CFL titles there. He became the head football coach of the Chicago Bears. Then he was the offensive coordinator of the Ravens, head coach of the Argonauts, and currently right now he's a senior offensive assistant for the Los Angeles Chargers, and they're dealing with, Justin Herbert. So, he's not going to be able to comment on really other personnel because that's against NFL rules for a former coach, or not a former coach, but someone working in the league, to sit there and comment and go knee deep into a Jalen Hurts or a Josh Allen. However, he can give you a 35,000 foot view of those guys. And what I'm going to talk to him about is Kevin Patullo, first year coordinators, getting people like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith involved. What happens when a run game is stalling? What do you do? Situational play calling. He's had so much experience at really, the entire game. And it's true. One of the things that I love about Mark Trestman is that when you look at his resume, Mark could have done anything he wanted. He is a lawyer. He is. And he's teaching law at the University of Miami. And he's also, like I said, a consultant for the Los Angeles Chargers. So before I bring him on, I just want to give you guys context. I think it's against league policy. He's not going to be able to go, hey, can you break down Josh Allen? He can give you probably a 35,000 foot view of what he thinks of the player. But remember, talking about other players in the league, NFL doesn't really like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to him about situational play calling and first-year play calling. Kevin Patullo is a first-year play caller in a very unconventional offense that the Eagles run. And we're talking these dual threat guys. When you look at Justin Herbert gives you a dual threat. He gives you a dual threat look because he is mobile. Now, I don't think you want that big horse running around and wanting him out in open space getting hammered like that in today's NFL. However, he does give you the element. I think he's a more mobile Ben Roethlisberger, something like that. And the way that he and his arm, I think he's exceptionally more skilled with his arm than what Ben was. And I think Ben's a Hall of Fame player. Okay? So I want to put that in proper context. I wonder if he's enjoying being a consultant for the Chargers or teaching law at the University of Miami. One of my great friends and somebody that I absolutely admire and somebody I absolutely just have a great friendship with. His resume speaks for itself. He is Mark Trestman. He joins us now here. How you doing, Coach?
Dan, it's an honor and a privilege to spend time with you. It's great to see you, and really happy to be with you tonight, just to spend some time together. It's awesome.
All right, you tell me, do you enjoy teaching law or did you enjoy coaching? What are you enjoying right now? Being a consultant for the Chargers right now, do you enjoy being in the NFL or do you enjoy law?
I'm going to correct you on two accounts. Number one is last year I went with Jim to the Chargers. Jim was my quarterback coach when I was the coordinator of the Raiders. Both run game and pass game coordinators. Marcus Brady's the pass game coordinator there. Andy Britt Bischoff is the run game coordinator there. They were both with me in Montreal during my years there. And then Mike Devlin, who is the line coach, I coached Mike at Arizona. So, and Greg Roman and I are close. So I went to LA the first year with Jim to help in any way I could, to be in the quarterback room with Justin and Shane Day and Marcus Brady, who's the pass game coordinator, and had a great time. I'm not consulting with them now. I decided to retire in March. Spent the last 8 months working on a book that I'm still working on, and hope to, by the first year, get that done. And for the last 5 years, I haven't taught law at the University of Miami Law School, which you and I love because we are you guys, but I have been teaching a leadership course there, and I've been a member of the Entertainment Arts and Sports Law Advisory Board since 2014. So I've been teaching a leadership course there, which I think every high school, every college, and every school in America should have some aspect of leadership. And I turned a leadership course into a locker room at the law school, and having a blast, and being down in Miami and spending time with Dan Radakovich, our AD now there, as you know, Dan, because he was there when we were there the first time. And so I'm having a ball. I learning how to play golf and suffering through that, but it's all good.
What would you look back on your time? You've been around so many people, from the beginnings with Howard Schnellenberger and Earl Morrall, which I think probably had a gigantic influence on you. And when he was there at the University of Miami, former MVP, obviously played in Super Bowls too. He was our quarterback coach for Howard and really developed like a lot of the guys there with Vinny and Bernie and all the guys. I mean, and Jim Kelly, you tell me, I mean, how much did he influence you, and how much you took from that relationship forward with all the great stops you've had?
Yeah, well, every coach you work with gives you something. They either give you something really positive and sometimes not so positive, but it's all part of the learning curve, because you never stop learning as a coach. And as a person, you're always looking to learn and grow. And I do for my students, and I did from the coaches that I've coached and the players. I mean, I learned, from Justin Herbert. I mean, it's just an incomparable human being, elite human being, and elite player. So Earl, the one thing I learned from Earl, and I always remember, is he never tried to coach everything at once. He tried to, we went to each day and said, this is, and he was, very much a part of the Jim Kelly success, because after Jim left, then Earl retired, but I was there with him for a year, and Howard turned the job over to me. But his big coaching point was, you can't do it all in one day. So at that time, we always used to talk about the Rolodex, that little spinning thing with everybody's, now it's a phone, but then it was a little card in there, and he'd pull something out of the Rolodex and say, this is what we're going to work on. We're going to work on drop. We're going to work on ball security. We're going to work on something in the confines or exiting the pocket. And that's what he taught me, that you can't, it's like a golf swing. You can't work on everything every time you're working on your golf swing. You got to pick something out and try to get better at it.
I'm going to ask you a question, because again, we, in our show's based in Philly here. And so I want to ask you about a first year play caller who's been in the building versus somebody like a Kellen Moore who came in from out of the building. Let me start with this. Kevin Petullo is a friend of mine. Frank Wright is a dear friend of mine. I love him. He was when I was at the University of Maryland, before I transferred to Miami, he was a teammate of mine with Boomer at Maryland. And me and him are great friends. And he's just a great savant and speaks highly of Kevin Petullo. Tell me this, Coach, when you were in the building and you got elevated, how hard is that to go from just being a guy who's putting the game plan together, putting route trees together, and then all of a sudden you have to be the guy that's in the fire, you're the guy calling the plays. How much different is that role from being what you're doing by putting the game plan together than actually being part of building the game plan and executing the game plan?
Well, that's a great
even though
question.
you've never been a play caller.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. First of all, I had a chance to coach Frank in Detroit, and he's become a great friend over the years as well. So I double down on your feelings of him as a coach and a player and a friend. I think one of the most important thing when you go from an assistant who is coaching a position to being a coordinator who also may be coaching a position is being aligned with the line coach. I think the one thing that you see with younger coordinators is they don't have PhDs in protection. In Philadelphia, they have one of the best line coaches in football,
Yes,
yeah, but still there has to be alignment and an understanding of how you want to protect, because the number one thing you have to do as a coordinator is make sure the quarterback can complete a throwing motion, right? I mean, that's number one, and that starts with protection. So I think that the hardest part for a play caller are not the plays, but it's the nuance of knowing when to use them, how to use them, and understanding that with every time you dial a pass, particularly, you've got to make sure you're taking care of the quarterback. And that's why you have to know the running game, because by the running game, you're taking care of the quarterback as well. I think they're doing a hell of a job.
So his number one priority is to line up with the offensive line coach like Jeff Stoutland, because that's why we're seeing a lot of zone runs. And we see a lot of these zone runs. And I'm going to get to the guys on the perimeter, the Y and the Z here in a minute, but we're seeing a lot of that. A year ago, they had massive success, but what they're still doing, they're still running the same plays with less success at that. But because he's a first-year play caller, he's still in line with that offensive line coach. And that's probably why, again, we're seeing a lot of those runs, even though they're not successful, they're in line. And that's the number one priority you're saying for you as a first-time play caller, is that you want to be in line with that guy.
It's 100%. I mean, they have to be hip to hip, because if there's disengagement or discourse, it just makes it very difficult to not only work during the week, but call plays on game day. There has to be a unique alignment that goes beyond French. There has to be a professional alignment that just says, this is how we're going to do it. Everything else kind of falls into place. Receiver coaches, running back coaches, tight end coaches, falls into place when there's continuity and communication and clarity of communication between the line coach and the play caller.
How much do you then evolve the quarter? So after you have this conversation, coach, the quarterback is obviously in the building and he's in the room with you while you're conveying all this. The quarterback has to buy into this as well on the communication on what you're trying to accomplish before you even get the number one priority is the run game in the way you're talking right now. And then you're going to get to Y and Z. But how much of the quarterback has to buy into what they're selling him on how you build that game plan?
Yeah, well, what's really happening is there's protection meetings going on, particularly after the game plan is installed. So the quarterback generally is in there with the offensive line, possibly the running back. If there's kind of an overload there, but the running back, the principal protecting running back, Saquon Barkley, is going to be in the protection meeting, and there's going to be a conversation. And I always ran the protection meetings, because I felt the ultimate responsibility as a coordinator and really the head coach is to make sure they take care of the quarterback. Right. I mean, that's the tip of the spear. So the protection meetings carry probably the most important aspect. To be able to run the ball is a way to protect the quarterback. It's also a way to use clock and do the other things necessary. And again, the Eagles do a great job of that. Teams also have studied the Eagles, and I don't know what statistically their success rate is running the football this year, but it's not necessarily a result of play calling. It may be a result of teams doing a better job of knowing what they're going to see each and every week. That may be part of it.
Now let's get to the perimeter guys. Last night, AJ Brown only got 3 targets last night. Here's a premier player that's in your offense. How hard is it when you've got, like you just mentioned, Dallas Goedert, you've got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith? How important is it to get in line with your O-line coach? And then, there's only one football coach. How do you delegate that? And how do you get all the footballs in the touches? Because they've gotten away from him for some reason, and they're more focused on what you said. Is that a result of being a first-time play caller?
I think the one thing that he has going for him, Nick Sirianni has been a play caller, and he is the head coach, and he is an offensive-minded coach. So when you've got playmakers outside the way, I'm not trying to get into the heads of what they're doing. I always felt you have to get the playmakers the ball. You got to, I've had Jerry Rice and Tim Brown and some great receivers over the years. I felt a responsibility to get them the ball in the field and make sure their targets when we get to the red zone. That doesn't mean you don't want to run the ball in the red zone, because good red zone teams are able to run the football. And the Eagles are a little bit different if we're talking about the Eagles here, because they have one of the best backs in football. So, one of the lessons I learned from Norv Turner never coordinated a team that he didn't have a great running back, from Emmitt Smith to Davis. You name it. Just look at Norv Turner's record. On 3rd and 1, he was never wrong calling a run. There's places I've been where you get booed out of the place if you call a run on 3rd and 1. George Seifert said, we're not calling 3rd and short runs because we didn't have the running backs to get the first down. So, when you have a real running back like the Eagles do, you're never wrong calling a run. Nobody's ever going to second guess a run on 3rd and short or 4th down, with the running back that the Philadelphia Eagles have. It's just not going to be the case. So same thing with the Indianapolis Colts. You can't be wrong calling runs. At some places you can be, but they have playmakers inside. They have playmakers in the perimeter. And I think part of the job, of the coordinator and the play caller is to make sure those people have the respect. But the bottom line is, when you win the game, ultimately the best teammates are the ones who, that's all they care about, is the scoreboard. And that's what the coaches are trying to do. They're trying to win the game, but you're trying to get the playmakers the ball. No doubt about it.
How about this, Coach? Talk to me about the emotional part of this too. Like when you come off a field, like a game like last night, 10-7, they win, and you don't really get your other superstar or the main guy. Devontae had a really good game last night. I know you didn't see the game, but
No.
just your how you talk to a guy like Jerry Rice. Maybe, that's probably not a good thing, because Jerry always got targets from everybody. But when a guy is not involved really much in the game, do you go over to him and say something to him and go like this, we won the game here? Yeah. Do you have any conversation with him?
The Cell always said there's nothing like a winning locker room in the National Football League. That's number one. And any head coach would tell you that. It's so hard to win a game, and they all have different storylines. Last night was a 10-7, but the bottom line is they won the game, and there's nothing harder to do in sports than win one game each week in the National Football League. And anybody who's coached and been in the game will tell you that. And it's amazing. Players are, and I had a couple games with Rice that way, where you just don't get them the ball, and they're going to be pissed off, that they weren't productive. But generally, the great teammates. And I think Antonio Brown, I'm not Antonio Brown, but Brown, AJ Brown, he's a captain, right?
Yep.
He's a team leader. So he's going to be pissed till Wednesday or whenever the first day is. But I would guarantee he's going to walk in there and he's going to be ready to go and get ready for the next game plan. And in between that time, I'm sure there's going to be some communication with the coordinator, with the head coach. They deserve that respect. He's a captain. He's a decorated veteran. So I'm sure there'll be some discussion, but nothing beats winning in the National Football League. And there'll be other games in other weeks, and the team is putting themselves in a position, and the team has to come first. It's not always the way you want to win individually, but collectively. If you're a great teammate, and I imagine there's about 53 plus on that team, and coaches who feel the same way, coaches are going to be disappointed. The coordinator, offensive coaches are going to be disappointed. They're going to get on the tape. They're going to get on last week's tape, the game tape, and they're going to get on next week's tape, and they're going to do everything they can to sell the next game plan and show the team that they can be better.
I want to get to Jalen Hurts here, Coach. Help me out on this, because I know the evolution of the game now. The Bernie Kosars, by the way, Bernie, obviously, he's a little sick right now, so I know that you know that as well. And I'm constant conversation with him, and I'm always sending him love. He's been on the program, by the way, and so was Kelly about a month ago. So we love those two guys. But the drop back quarterback versus what's evolving in the NFL today, because of free agency, you've got to have some element of dual threat. I'm confused on Jalen Hurts, Coach. I want you to help me out on him. 29.05 a year ago, 18 touchdowns. Last night, he was just like all over he was not very good. They could not get the ball out in the perimeter. It was not very good. They're 27th or 26th in passing. A year ago, they were 29th, but they won the Super Bowl. And he's a winner. They've won, I think they were 14-3 a year ago. They're 7-2 now. They've won 21 of 26 games with this guy. How do you look at Jalen Hurts? He's never going to put up volume numbers, and he's never going to be a volume passer. How do you look at him, but yet he's involved in a team that wins so much?
Yeah. First of all, Howie Roseman's done an unbelievable job putting that locker room together. I mean, all the way around, offensively, defensively, priorities each and every year, getting the right people at the right time. You know, Jalen Hurts is a winner. He is a great teammate. Every time he speaks, you listen. I mean, from the time he lost the Super Bowl a couple years ago and his post game, I have followed him as much as I can. I did not see the game last night. He's a winner, and he finds ways to win. And I think in the National Football League today, as a play caller, the one thing play callers got to have is they got to have a quarterback who can extend a play, who can get a first down on third down, who can make the play. I mean, you talked about, Justin Herbert. He's not a great runner, but he's a good runner who can extend plays and make first downs and give his team a chance, because no play caller can be perfect on third down in the National Football League on the offensive side of the ball. It's impossible. So you've got to have you get a couple of runs for first down and third down. All of a sudden you're in the high 40s, early 50s on first down, and you're in the top 10 of the league. So I can't really, I've not watched him play enough to know. I've watched him practice. I was at the combination practice a couple of years ago in Cleveland when they practiced. I thought he was terribly accurate, very accurate. He makes plays when the plays are needed. And all you got to do is look, I mean, tell me, what's his turnover ratio right now?
I think he's got one turnover right now. Well, last night he had one last night in a fumble, but interception wise, he's got one pick right now after 9 games.
So I will tell you this: the quarterbacks who protect the ball play for championships. It's a bottom line. They handle the ball on the center quarterback exchange, on the way to the running back, in the confines of the pocket, and the location of the throw, and when they exit and throw the ball, Dan. So if they can take care of the football, there's close to, statistically speaking, it's universal. It's going to be 80% wins. It's going to be the playoffs. It's going to have a chance to win a Super Bowl. So if he can get through 9 games and have 1 turnover, that's incredible. You don't even have to look at the record. You know they're going to have a winning record, and then they're going to be playoff bound if this continues. And that's all you're looking for. If you can get home field advantage, that's just, you double down on having a chance to play for a Super Bowl.
So for you as a play caller, it's not important to have 38 touchdowns and like 12 picks. It's more important for you to have 22 touchdowns and 3 picks, because that's going to result in more winning.
I mean, if you're low 3 or under 3 in interception ratio, you're going to be in it's almost guaranteed your team is going to be in the playoffs.
Wow.
If you only have 1 turnover in 9 games and you have less than 5 in a season as a quarterback, he touches the ball on every play and he only turned the ball over, once or 2 times. You don't even have to look at the 1-loss record. The team is going to win, because that's the quarterback's number 1 job. It's to protect the football. And the second thing is to live for the next play. I gave you the 5 ways he protects the football. And the next one is he's got to get up after he's knocked down to be able to live for the next play and not get hurt, because he's the guy who gives the team hope, the fans hope, the community hope. And I think he's doing a hell of a job. And he's a guy that everybody in the organization can be proud of, the way he handles himself on and off the field.
Help me out here on a coordinator now for you. Have you ever had this dynamic? Because Nick Sirianni and a lot of guys, Coach, when you coach a RPO guy versus coaching a Phillip Rivers or somebody like Bernie, okay, and you get a job somewhere, like Kellen Moore did a year ago. Kellen Moore's a passing guy. He was not run. He really didn't have Dak doing a lot of RPO guys or a lot of RPO stuff. How do you evolve into that when you see the quarterback skill set? You get that job. I mean, how do you change to fit the quarterback and his skill?
I don't know how much RPOs are really being thrown anymore. That's my feeling, just watching the game. I don't see quarterbacks doing as much reading linebackers, reading safeties, reading 3 techniques, reading defensive ends as I did maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I think it might look like it, but I'm not so sure it is, just because they're faking to the back prior to throwing the football. The Packers did a great job with Devontae a few years ago, where actually Aaron Rodgers knew he was going to pull or hand off before the snap of the ball based on the coverage. So a lot of teams, and something that I was more familiar was, if we saw shell defense, we still could pull the ball and throw it because they were soft in the perimeter. So there were run pass options that, even though we had the box, we still threw the ball. But there are other run pass options. When we had the box, we handed it off, which minimized. What I never liked personally was when the quarterback came to the sideline and the line coach said, "Why didn't you hand the ball off?" I didn't want those symposiums on the sideline, Dan, where we were going to question the quarterback when he pulled it or didn't. So I eliminated that by giving them the order of options based on the front that he saw. So they were either going to pull it. I hope I'm keeping this simple enough. They were
you are.
They were either going to pull it and throw it based on the perimeter, not what he saw after the snap. So then we wouldn't have the discussions and the dilemma on the sideline of why didn't he hand it off and why did he pull it. I could meet with the team the day after, and the line wouldn't say, "Man, we had the box. Why didn't we run it?" Because we had the box, but we were also soft in the perimeter, and we just gained 7 yards on first down. And who wouldn't want to be 2nd and 3? Doesn't matter how we get it, because we're still blocking the run on both plays. So we don't have to pass protect, which is a breather play for the passing game for the offensive line.
So you did, like, I'm seeing that with Shane Steichen and what you're doing with Daniel Jones in Indianapolis now. So you're saying that Shane, because Shane had Jalen in 2022, you're saying that you make that call. I want you, and you're actually picking the option in the run option prior to the snap.
Yes.
So you, instead of giving, I was always under the assumption the quarterback had.
Well, there's a lot of RPOs that is the case, and I've been in systems that have that. But the problem is, when you do that, you gotta take the other side of that, which is the ball could get knocked down because it's a free rusher and he's pulled the ball to throw it. He misread the linebacker on the play, and there's other times where, and you can see it, and you see it a lot in the red zone where the quarterback does pull the ball because he's reading the end, and it's really an option run for the quarterback, but not necessarily an option throw for the quarterback.
Couple last ones, Coach. Protecting the quarterback, and especially with these dual threat guys, how important is that, and where is that on the scale of importance when it comes to protecting today's quarterback in the pocket? How much do you teach? Because Hurts takes a lot of sacks. Now, I'm starting to believe that he would rather take a sack than throw the ball into harm's way. And he'd rather take that minus yardage than to put that ball in a small window, tip passes. That's why his turnovers are low. He's like in the 40s every year in sacks given up. I think that's pocket presence problems. But at the other hand, if you've got low turnovers, I don't know, maybe that's the trade-off that they're doing when it comes to how do you put that on the scale when it comes to protecting him as a quarterback?
Yeah, I don't want to comment on him. I just think a lot of him as a player, and I haven't watched him enough to really, comment on that. But number one is you don't want to take sacks if you don't have to. Number two is you'll take a sack if you need to. It might be because you're in a 4-minute, you're throwing it on third down, and you want the clock to run, so you don't want to. You want to take the sack. So there's situational football where you're taking a sack. You want to throw it away and at least get back to the line of scrimmage with the next down if you can get it. We know that, right? So you want to throw it away. But what you don't want to do is, number one, is you don't want to turn it over, because if you protect the ball, you're going to have a chance to play for a championship. And if you are going to run, you want to run to protect yourself, because your number two job, besides protecting the football in those 5 situations, is to make sure you can get up and in 40 seconds call and run the next play. Because if Jalen Hurts gets hurt, he's not living for the next play. And then that's a situation that we don't want to be part of. So the hardest part with dual threat quarterbacks is making sure, from my standpoint, is I want to protect him, because I have a job to make sure that he lives for the next down. So I'm going to be a little more cautious with calling plays where he would run with the football. But there is a cost-benefit analysis that every coordinator makes when he calls, a quarterback run, or he puts the quarterback in a position to run the ball. That there, he's just, it's a cost benefit analysis. It's the end of the game. It's in the red zone. We got a chance to get to the playoffs. We got to make this happen. And essentially, anytime you have the quarterback run, you're rolling the dice. And if you lose them, the costs are game defining and maybe season defining.
Last question for you. What do you make of what's going on with, I watched Daniel Jones in New York and I'm like, good grief, that guy stunk. I watch him in Indianapolis. He's the MVP of the league. I'm watching Mac Jones. He leaves New England. He's playing great ball for Kyle Shanahan. I'm watching Sam Darnold. He was a disaster in New York with the Jets. This guy's won, last year he won 14 games. Now he's won 7. He's 7-2. This guy's won 21 ball games in 2 years. And these guys, when you and I were in the league early on, if you were a bust your first time around, you were done in the league and you became a journeyman. Are you shocked with all these Baker Mayfield too? Are you shocked with all these reclamation projects?
I'm not shocked. I've been part of them and seen them from afar. I know that Sam Darnold, the quarterback meeting room is the sanctuary. It's the church of football. It really is. So who's in that room? And the dynamic of that room is a narrative in itself. I know that in Minnesota, Sam Darnold was in the quarterback room with Josh McCown and Kevin O'Connell, and I think that makes a difference. I think that, that whatever that room is, I think there's more to it. It's for another discussion. I really don't want to go too deep.
You set that room up too.
Yeah, you have to set the room up for success, and then the system for success for that quarterback that's playing the game. But so in New York, we did see Daniel Jones have his moments, right? We saw there were moments where we said, I think they got the right guy. I think we all can say that. There were moments when in Sam Darnold's earliest career, there were flashes, and then he went to, I know what the quarterback room looked like in Minnesota because I know Josh McCown was coaching him, and I had the privilege of coaching Josh in Chicago, so, I'm proud of that, but I think the quarterback room matters, and there's a good one now with Mike McDonald in Seattle. There's a really good one. And, I know the people that are in Indianapolis, and sometimes a new venue, a new home, change. Look at Baker Mayfield, what he's done since he left Cleveland, so that's another, MVP, performances that he's in fourth quarter comebacks. He's played some tremendous ball since he left Cleveland. So that room, that sanctuary of a quarterback meeting room, there's just nothing like it, and it can make or break careers. But the chemistry in it, there's a nuance to the chemistry, and when the chemistry's right, quarterbacks can wind up playing at their full potential.
So when you had Rich Gannon, did you know when do you clear your mind of all things maybe at other places and go, I'm going to coach this guy here the way I see it? And does it just go, he's better than what my perception? How do you fight perception?
Well, I had Rich in Minnesota. I coached him in Minnesota.
That's right. You had him in Minnesota.
So when John went out to get him, he got him before I got there. Right. And then I'm talking John Gruden.
Yep.
Right. I got there in 2001. And then after the Tuck game, John left to go to Tampa, left Bill Callahan and me with Bill Callahan became the head coach. And we really changed the offense because of the players that we had. We were going to throw the ball 70% of the time with Rich because we didn't have a line that could block the run. But we had Charlie Garner who could catch the ball and run the ball, and we had a line that could protect. That's going back a long time. But so I think Rich was just in a position where he had the people around him, Rice and Tim Brown and Garner, a line that could protect. And Rich was a very, very special guy. Have a guy on the show you want to talk and love the game of football. There's nobody more interesting to talk to about football than Rich Gannon. And he was just a relentless guy in preparation. And we were able to put enough people around him. We had great success.
Absolutely. Coach, we got to do this more, man. I mean, I'm sorry that it's taken this long to come back here because, I mean, these are just masterclass lessons here on how you really see the game. And I didn't really realize about the quarterback room. Now I know every time we went on the road trips, the quarterbacks always had these gigantic rooms, and me and these other guys, we were always in these little rooms. I had a roommate. You walk into Vinny Testaverde's room. I'm like, this is your room? I go, who's your roommate? He goes, I don't have a roommate. I'm like, these goddamn quarterbacks, man, they get the best of everything.
Well, they deserve it. I mean, think about what nobody.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it.
There's no. I mean, we all know it. There's no job in sports harder to play.
Oh yeah,
that position. It's really why all of us love the game. But it's one component. But we don't have the game without it. And every dollar they earn there, it's certainly well deserved.
Coach, I love you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Likewise, Dan. Anytime.
I'm going to do it again. I swear we're going to do this sooner, man. I mean, we totally are. You gave me a great lesson today and kind of changed my views on some things here too. So, Coach, we're going to catch up again. Thank you so much.
Keep up the great work, Dan. I'm always around for you.
You bet. I know you are. Me too for you. I love you,
buddy.
man. Thank you very much.
You bet. We'll see you later. Take a look.
Oh, there it is right there. There it is. Absolutely.
Hey, Dan, everybody, if you can't say a prayer for Bernie Kosar, he needs our prayers right now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach.
Okay, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
You got it. The great Mark Tressman. Absolutely, man. That's fantastic. He's dead on with that. We had Bernie on too, man. How great was that? This man is one of the truly most gifted people I've ever been around who loves the game of football. He really does, man. I mean, I had a great conversation with Alonzo Highsmith about him. And I'm going to tell you this, between Alonzo and Dan Morgan, I got to make a call. I'm going to get his ass out of retirement. I'm going to get him out of retirement. I'm calling Dan Morgan tonight, and I'm going to call Alonzo Highsmith tonight. All right? We got to do that, man. All right, my good friend John Morgan from Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. He is the proud sponsor of this program here. And folks, they have recovered over $30 billion in injuries with people that have been hurt. If you've been hurt on the job, this is what Morgan & Morgan does. Easiest decision you'll ever make. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's FOR, thepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. Do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years, and that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFC selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
I'll tell you what I learned from Coach Trestman. Now I know why we're seeing all those run zone plays. He's working with Jeff Stoutland more than he is with the perimeter guys. And that's why they're having a tough time getting the wideouts involved in the game plan. Because the game plan is revolved around the run game, like Devontae said. Makes total sense now. He's a first-year play caller, and he's hitched his wagon to Jeff Stoutland. And that's why we're seeing those zone run read plays and why you're seeing that they're not giving up on those plays. Interesting stuff, man. Good stuff. We're going to do that again too. Guys, I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Battle Royale tomorrow. It's Wednesday, yes? Okay. 2 to 6. Big Joe, Xander, thank you. Don't forget Birds 365 in the morning, and we shall see you on the flip side.